one of the we need to come up with a title for this campaign because we do.
I thought you already had it.
Oh heck no!
Yeah, it's the Keleres Killer Crew.
No.
Bad.
So, does anybody have any questions or any alterations they need to do on their characters before we say and go?
Defenders of Civilization, Embers of the Imperium. I thought that was our name, with a couple of others. We could add more. Keepers of the Light of Faith. We can just keep on adding them on.
Defenders of Civilization, that's a good one. So, is everybody ready? Have you tested your character sheets to see if anything fancy does work? I mean, I see our let Nev's fancy swords totally work.
Oh yeah.
And you should be able to move your tokens around.
Oh,
And,
okay. What's my critical?
Nice.
what do you mean? What's your critical?
Oh, the critical rating on that? What?
Yeah,
hold on. For a shot pistol? That's a good question.
That is a very good question.
That would have been that's a very nice shot right there.
Yeah. That's so good of a question. I'm going to go pick up the physical copy of my book and find out.
That's 5 unsoakable points of damage. Gotta love it.
I mean,
with a crit.
I mean, it's not unsoakable. It's just unlikely to be soaked.
It's Pierce 6. It's unsoakable.
Yeah, it does 5 points with Pierce 6, and it just critted.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I must step out of the room shortly to go pick up the book. Say hello to the cat.
Shot pistol has a crit rating of 4.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yep. I was trying to get to it.
It is interesting dealing with the all-new weapons that have completely different stats than what we're used to in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Most of them are also very different from the stats I gave them when I put together my own Twilight Imperium.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed...
Except for the Shutter Blade, that's pretty much dead on the same.
Oh, and is this a set story pool or a roll story pool?
This is a set story pool.
Hint. Hint, hint.
Yes, I have not done that yet.
Yeah. My guy's combat will be pretty ugly. So on top of that, doing the damage it did with a crit, I also took painful blows, so when you make a combat check, voluntary increase the difficulty by 1. To use talent, if this target suffers 1 or more wounds from the combat check, the target suffers 2 strain each time they perform a maneuver until the end of the encounter.
Which is
I don't have any talents. I don't have any talents.
No?
Every last point I had ended up going into characteristics.
Ooh, that gets expensive quick.
It gets expensive quick, but it does mean I have 2 3s and a 4.
Wow.
Actually, I do too. But I have a 1.
I don't have any 1s.
Yeah. I've got a 1, 3 2s, 1 3, and 1 4.
Yeah, 1 4 and all 2s.
I've got a lot of talents for a beginning character.
That's good. That means you're going to be real useful right away.
Like, look at all the cool things you can do.
Which, as a beginner character, is usually not very many.
Yep.
Or one.
So everybody can move their tokens, right? And you all should be able to fight over the ship too.
My ship.
Yep.
And we will totally do it since we're starting from the very get-go with this one. That your wounds and strain starts as 0, and the numbers go up instead of down. Just because it's easier to track when you go over.
Yep.
You know, when you get way over, and all of a sudden you're like, how many negative hit points am I at? That way you don't
I'm
get
having problems moving my character.
You are. Let's pull
Oh
up.
wait, hold on. No, that's not my character.
That's
That's
because
my bottom thingy. Hold on.
That's because it's a cat.
Oh, never mind. I've got it now.
Okay.
I've got to change the bottom thingy.
Yeah. Also, it doesn't look like there's a name displayed below Evan's character sheet.
You mean his
At
character?
least for me.
I'm missing 2 names.
Whose
I
names are you
don't
missing?
I don't see the one with the guy in the red hat or hood or whatever it is. This one.
That one's missing, and that one's missing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now I can see Evans.
The pointer circle is like super active now.
It's
you don't even
super
have to
responsive, yeah. Of course, remember, this is a brand new lobby, so
there we go.
it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it yet.
Mine's
Yeah,
not
but
super
normally
responsive.
you have
It
to
has the
hold
built-in
to do it.
delay for me.
Yeah, as soon as I click, it's like boom.
Okay, so everybody can see everybody else's names?
See.
Okay. Can I have a clarification on a power I have first?
Sure, what power?
It's Savvy Negotiator. And the description is, once per session, when your character is targeted by a social skill check and is dealt strain, you may spend a single story point as an out-of-turn incidental to reduce the strain suffered by their cunning rating and inflict strain on the character who targeted them equal to their cunning rating.
Damn.
Yeah.
So... Okay, so that's on their roll.
That's if they target you.
Okay.
So basically, if somebody's doing a charm or a coercion or a leadership to make you do something, you basically, instead of you suffering it, you throw it right back at their face.
Right, or that willpower
Scathing
hockey
tirade.
thing.
And it's really handy for the negotiation ability because basically you can turn it on them that you come out ahead.
Right.
For the savvy negotiator. It's a good way for you to motivate them to let them negotiate with you rather than you negotiate with them.
Uh-huh.
This is when you totally say, make me an offer, and I roll their negotiation against yours, and then you can use it.
Yep. Now all of a sudden they're going, damn, I feel strained.
I made mistakes. I should not have done this.
Yeah, although I also get 2 extra blue dice for any mammalian social check.
Where did Savvy Negotiator come from?
Probably.
And that's
it's the racial ability, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a power.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like that's not a talent.
That
is a millennia of family secrets on negotiation. All I gotta say is, as a teenager, you don't mess with those guys when they try to negotiate for bedtime changes. They're like, I spent a lifetime negotiating with my parents, and I pray I do not alter the deal further.
Their weird flex as an adult is I managed to get my bedtime lifted to 10 p.m. by the time I was 4.
I mean, who are we kidding? The heckin' or feline? They're napping all the time.
Yep.
Right? That's a culture. They're all
siesta is a cultural thing for them.
It's a holy thing for them.
Oh, that could totally work. Instead of noon prayer, it's noon siesta.
I mean, not just new. Think of it more like the prayers for Islam.
Well,
You
that's
just got to do it multiple times a day.
Yep. It's nap time. This is my nap rug.
Yep. Instead of napping in a certain direction, you just have to always nap directly in a sunbeam. I'm getting dangerously close
in a spaceship.
It really is. I'm getting very dangerously close to blasphemy.
Good.
As the old Robin Hood saying would be, fluently.
Yeah.
As my cat is tempting to knock shit over here. For further proving the point of cats.
Yep.
Okay, so everybody good? Does anybody need to get a drink?
I got wireless headset. I can get it anytime.
Same.
So can I, but I'm afraid
Say
the cat's
that
gonna
you didn't
totally
have one already?
jump.
That was just poor planning.
And believe it or not, the pool is magically correct with my 4-in-1 already in there.
Wow.
I forgot to add that in there. If that's important.
Okay, so this is...
Add. Boom.
This is a new game session, correct?
Yep, this is session 1.
Cha-ching! I got me money!
Yep, you
Ah,
officially
that's
earned the money. As you guys are you ready? As the cat just meows, yes, I love that. He went, meow. As you guys, of course, are sitting in a reception area where it's got, imagine Men in Black when Will Smith comes in there, and there's the Army, Navy guys, those sheets, eggshell seats. You guys are all sitting in them.
It's kind of rude.
And
eggshells. I ain't getting no eggshell again.
as you guys are basically sitting there waiting, you don't know any of each other. You just know that you're a bunch of fresh Keleres that have gone through the basic indoctrination on your ship right here. The month ride ship to get here to Mechatol Rex. You notice the planet is still horribly devastated from millennia ago when the Soul people came and glazed the planet, basically, which ended the Empire. You guys come down to your headquarters by the planet's umbilical, and I totally turned the picture here before the cat steps on it. And you've spent just enough time in the base to get like the basic laydown of the base here, and everything outside the base is just wreckage. It's a destroyed ecosystem. There's nothing good going on there, and you guys just sit for an uncomfortably long time with each other for about an hour. Do you guys talk? Do you guys stay silent? How about we at least describe ourselves to the other characters so they know what they're looking at? See how we get the introductions underway?
Yep. Alright, I'll start.
Hello, I'm Hakan, as you can obviously tell. My name is Percy. How are you guys doing?
And describe.
What does Percy look like? From casual observation.
Okay, have any of you guys seen the cover of Pride of Shanur? That chuckle is a yes.
Yeah.
That's what I look like. I look like a space cat pirate.
Space cat pirate.
Earring.
Pirate. Alright.
So who's going next?
Yeah, I'm sitting there, and I look pretty much like my picture looks, except I do have a torque around my neck, which is, if you're familiar with that, is kind of a neck piece, kind of big band with two like ball bearings on the end. and a small familiar as well, a mechanical familiar that kind of hovers by me and carrying a bow.
And for those of you not in the know, the mechanical familiar is basically a little helper.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. I got one of those too.
Okay. My character, he would for reference, the name is pronounced Rove on Sheelin. And he would be generally considered attractive by human or Letnev standards. He's got pale blue skin, golden amber colored eyes, and dark blue hair. Slender, medium height, lithe athletic build. He's notably graceful and balanced. His clothes are cut stylishly, but somewhat simpler than and more utilitarian by Letnev standards. We have only a little bit of embellishment on them, and he's, noticeably got his hair cut stylishly, medium length, wavy hair. And he just kind of sits back. He doesn't appear to be showing any sign of nervousness or anything, just sitting back, reclining, and listening to, other conversation, unless addressed directly up to this point.
And he's got that cool Letnev swords.
Yeah, he's got the cool tethered swords and a little pistol on his hip as well.
For my character, you see a relatively short but squat ape-like being. He doesn't look particularly at home in the gravity of this planet. His name is Hragamgar. Hragamgar.
Gesundheit.
Hragamgar.
Nice. Yeah, I forgot to mention my character's name is Trekar Anmarkan.
And you all, as you entered the room individually, you all had to speak your names into the little familiar hanging out at the door, as it's basically a mechanical secretary taking your information for once everyone's there. And you guys totally notice that a fifth seat is empty, as you guys are totally like waiting, who's this guy we're waiting on? Obviously, this is why we're being left to wait.
And there's always that one tardy guy.
Always that one tardy guy.
Is there any conversation you guys start? I mean, are you all silent?
I was silent.
I mean, and don't forget too, on your background, how do you feel about serving in the Keleres here? I mean, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it a punishment?
Well, for my character, he's obviously totally at home. He's pretty much, he has the sense that he's exactly where he wants to be.
Yeah. That's an assigned duty.
Yeah, it's definitely an assignment for me.
It's the only way certain things could happen for me.
So,
because
yeah,
he's bad at business.
Wow.
That's one way of putting it. Okay.
But yeah, he just sits and kind of takes everybody in.
You guys are nice, quiet, professional-like. It's great. As all of a sudden, this little announcement, the familiar kind of does this, bing. Your party of Keleres have been assembled. Please come to the platform station. And a little light on the floor lights up and takes you to this area that looks like it could actually have something come zipping in and zipping out of the room, but you just haven't seen it yet. And the little familiar kind of gives you this little speech that Custodian Loremaster Pelom Peneos will be joining you shortly. Prepare to disembark and bring your equipment.
So Rogue
Jakar
immediately
stands.
stands up and eagerly proceeds forward.
And of course, as you guys sit there, and it's totally like it's got that subway feel. As you look, and a portal opens up on one end, and you see this whoosh of air as this very stable-looking platform. It's got waist-high rails to hold on to. It's not the Empire, and a green gentleman with gold and ruby adornments on him sits up. Immediately, you guys recognize him as one of the classic, Winu custodian species that basically you've seen all over this planet since you got here, because their species is the one that saved this one last city and rebuilt most of it. And he's looking very nice in his Keleres uniform. Everything is in place. He's got this badge of office necklace and medallion on him. As he zips up, he kind of whispers to a familiar that's next to him that kind of like settles down and clicks onto his hip. So it's deactivated and out of the way. And he pulls up and just looks down his nose at the four of you. And then smoothly with the long green finger clicks the button and the rail retracts so you guys can get on, and a little platform ramp comes out to make it safe.
Okay, you guys notice that I have a space trunk?
A what? Space trunk?
Yep,
Space trunk.
like a steamer trunk.
Wow, yeah.
A
That's a lot to
spacer
haul
trunk?
around. Yeah, it's like one of the old steamer big
Yep.
Where you
boxes.
can fit everything you own in it, and it won't
Yeah,
get
it's a lot
damaged in
to
space.
haul. That's a lot to haul around, but just kind of gives him a weird look. Looks down his beak at it, like, what the hell? This guy's serious.
And he
So
just kind
Rogue
of
offers him hand with it.
just gestures for you guys to enter the second time, as you guys are seem to be not moving quick enough for his taste.
Oh, we move right on there.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue is eager to be here.
As he totally looks at you once the last one of you got on there, he looks back to make sure he didn't miss anyone. As you totally see him do the mental 1, 2, 3, 4 plank, and then he clicks the button on the rail, and you see him immediately pulls out his little data pad and starts typing some things really quick, and says, "Have you made time to introduce yourselves, Keleres?"
Indeed.
Not as of yet. I haven't had the pleasure of my companions' names.
As he just kind of nonchalantly doesn't even make eye contact with you guys over the shoulder, gives the make sure you need to do that. Apparently the High Law seemed fit to not bring your compatriot with you. I am finding his current location now. And he kind of like turns his shoulder so you can't see his data pad as he's doing it. Hits another button, and some stool-like seats pop up at the very back if you want to sit back there or just stand and hold the rail like a badass.
Yeah. Stand and hold the rail.
I mean, of course the bird would say that.
Well, I'm kind of standing but kind of like lounging against it somewhat indolently.
I'm gonna stay very much in the center.
Because gravity sucks. In space, you don't have to worry about vomit. It just keeps going in the right direction. Unless your helmet's not.
Yeah, but can you reach the rail?
I'm not that short.
Huh.
Well, I'll be the first to speak, I suppose. I'm Ro on Shilin, and I'm a recent join-up, like the rest of you, good friends. Just hoping to do my part to promote democracy and freedom throughout the galaxy.
As of course the Letnev reputation, supersedes the why is this guy being so nice?
Trikar on Markan on assignment from the Argent Flight.
And incline my head politely.
I'm gonna remain
As I
silent.
said, As I said earlier, I'm Percy.
As you know, your custodian here totally does the sigh and reaches his one hand up and just rubs the bridge of his nose in frustration. And he turns around and puts his data pad behind his back and stands at attention and says, I am your custodian. Unfortunately, the Hylar have seen fit to station Rublar's Darboon on the planet that you're being assigned to. So you will be tasked with locating your little friend wherever he's swimming about. And you definitely get the frustration because apparently the Hylar saw fit to do something else.
Yeah,
So you're
gotta
saying
get
our first
distracted
assignment
with
is to actually find our assignment?
That is an excellent way to say that, Percy. And the way he says your name, it totally makes you think he's memorized all of your basic information, and he is basically your liaison, for more better reference instead of custodian, as he prefers the terminology that. Are you prepared for me to take off?
Feel free.
Yeah. We haven't left yet.
And he proceeds to hit a button, and all of a sudden the ceiling opens up and the lift shoots straight up like an elevator. And he seems very rigid, very steady. He seems like he's ridden like this many times on a flyer. As all of a sudden you come out of the underground part of the headquarters, and all of a sudden you start to travel laterally amongst some beautiful towering spires and buildings that you saw as you landed the first time you guys got here. And then you kind of look out past the shields and you just see the utter devastation that's outside the shields. As he basically is taking you on a little cross-the-town trip and just says, is this the first time you've taken in the gloriousness of Mechatol Rex?
Okay, I've traveled to lots of different planets and seen lots of cities. What do I think of it?
You think the part that's still intact is epically spectacular. I mean, this was the ancient empire's, structures. They're beautiful. There's new things that have been rebuilt. Each species has contributed their own neighborhoods to the outside surface, except for the devastation parts, which are basically just your post-apocalyptic landscape. I mean, the part that's nice is spectacular.
It would be considerably less depressing if we didn't have to look up every so often. It's such a travesty of what this galaxy has come to. Just a sad reminder.
As he kind of looks at you and smirks and says, yes, the humans need to learn democracy and diplomacy, as opposed to just what they did to my people.
They're not the only ones that need to learn.
So what was the humans' excuse for doing this?
It was the only way to cut the head off the snake. I'm sure your people's history books...
No, I meant James.
Out of character.
Out of character? So, out of character...
Because the Lazaks were...
What does my race think the humans' excuse was?
Your race agrees with it because in a millennium ago, the humans basically killed the Roman Empire of space that basically subjugated everyone. And though their empire lasted like 30,000 years, it degraded in society. So think of it like the Roman Empire. You end up with your Neros at the end. Well, the last emperor was kind of a douche. And they didn't do their job of keeping the vassal systems in check. So when the uprisings happened, a couple races worked together and let the humans basically show up using unknown technology and glazing this planet all in one fell swoop. which of course, once the Emperor and the royal family was wiped out, pretty much was the end of their people. And then every one of the member states continue the genocide on the Lazics.
It's free real estate.
And unfortunately, during the Age of Dust, they all kind of, ground themselves into the Dark Ages. And it took a while to get back to being galactic powers again, and that's why you guys are here as the Keleres, is because a lot of people got together and realized if we don't put a check on this shit, old grudges will be the end of the galaxy.
And also because the Mahakt are back. But
Yeah.
Right.
The Lezek's great achievement of their culture was they took out the boogeyman of space, the Mahat gene sorcerers, that basically they're attributed for they created probably life everywhere, but they did it just so they could create organic weapons to fight each other. And then some folks showed up and killed them and buried their Stargate, made sure the galaxy thought they never existed, and then they just recently showed up not too long ago.
It must be destroyed.
And that's another reason why the, Keleres was created, to basically be able to get some troubleshooters out there to do stuff, because all the petty factions are too busy doing their own stuff, and no single faction has the power to stand against them. If they showed up, they could literally wave their hand and turn everyone into like creepy gray mutants that spread their evil mutancy and are completely subservient to their gene sorcerer masters.
Not when they have an arrow between their eyes.
There's almost a reason why the Argent Flight, our bird friend here, the Lazics protected their species and hid them in space as a trump card against the gene sorcerers if they ever returned. They're a holy order of warriors, basically. Who are totally the ones that will say, no, gene sorcerers, we gotta go blow the planet up. It's okay. Acceptable losses. There's trillions of life forms out there to replace the billions on this planet we're wiping out to get the one guy.
Yeah, we're likely to deter and get distracted if one shows up.
I mean, especially since half the galaxy is like, wait a minute, who are these bird people again? Oh yeah, we thought they were just an unmentionable species until all of a sudden they showed up, and they're like, hey, no, seriously, these guys are bad. Gene sorcerers are back. I told you, I'm totally that guy from that show on Fox with FBI who had a certain conspiracy of the gene sorcerers are among us.
We'll find them.
Yep.
Even though we're looking for other things, we'll find them.
Not mine.
And
that matters because...
And as you go zipping through the town, the wind is feeling good in most of your hairs, because most of you are actually
Feathers.
not in spacesuits. Like your Hylar friend is, who you're waiting to pick up. As he proceeds to kind of passively listen into your guys' small talk, and then turns back to you and says, Keleres Squad 74-109-7 Quan 47. Have you come up with a designation for your group yet? As you all kind of have this moment of surprise of, what? That wasn't in our briefing packet.
I'm going to look around at the people that are there with me, and I'm going to say, to borrow an adage from the humans, I think you might call us a monkey wrench.
Clever that.
And his eyes just become thin slits. Palom just looks in silence for agreement with you guys.
That's our team name, huh? Monkey Wrench. Okay.
You got a better one?
Can't say that I do, but...
I don't think anyone else is going to have a better idea, especially once they start throwing us into someone's gears.
So does everybody give a slight nod of agreement for him?
What we're called matters not.
Ooh. he kind of, fingers his data pad really quick and says, official designation Monkey Wrench. And he looks to you for a nod of approval if he said that correctly.
Yep.
Because he doesn't get the acronym quite well. But that's okay.
He doesn't have to.
And
Just
you
rather
have
than kind of diplomatically say, hey, it's clever.
and you have all items necessary for your mission.
We don't know what our mission is.
Excellent. Then pay attention, Keleres, for I have much to allocate and little time. And he basically hand gestures for the flyer to change direction slightly to a large, like a four-leaf clover-shaped building that you see has many ships coming in and out of it. Obviously, it's a spaceport. And as you're that direction, as he looks at all of you, and he waves his hand on his data pad, and a little holo projector pops up with a nice, pretty hologram of a planet that looks pretty crappy for all intents and purposes. I mean, and you're seeing as the holo, yes, I changed your map by the way, pans out, and you see this planet's like the fourth in the solar system, and there's little information that comes up across the screen immediately on it, and he says, "This is Herul's Truth, a tidally locked planet in the middle of nowhere." And of course, star map kind of pops up really quick and, drops down immediately, and you're just like, I didn't quite see what that was, but it was the ass end of space. And of course, the smarter of you know tidally locked planets means it doesn't rotate, so one half is always cooked and one half is always frozen. Henceforth, the weird topography you're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the world of Herul's Truth. Contact with
Can I make a quick astrocartography roll to actually know where this is?
Ooh, that's actually a really good question. Yes, you can. I hope you
gotta
didn't
let him
just.
set it
I hope
up.
you didn't just roll it.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say you gotta give him a chance to set it up.
As I was in the middle of pulling up the sheet to do it. Go ahead and make that roll again. You might do better. I mean, there's
You
always
might do worse.
there's always story points if you want to burn one early.
Oh my.
Right.
As
Right.
Percy just like literally is scratching his temple, that spot that cats love to be rubbed where the ears have that thinner hair, and just see a nod of frustration at the total lack of knowledge, and he takes one strain right out of the gate. I'm loving that.
Guess you're not so well traveled after all.
As you're totally like, this is like the ass end of nowhere. And just as he says it, contact has been recently re-established by the galactic community a scant few years ago. A Keleres informant has recently reported the probable discovery there of an unknown Imperial era technology, and possibly something of interest. They also mentioned the presence of an unsanctioned L1Z1X agent or two within this that has intense interest in this planet as well, presumably for the ancient relics that may reside on the planet. And he totally looks at all of you guys, for a second, like to see that you're comprehending what he's saying. And then he continues on, since apparently no one has any pause or question.
Well,
Oh, I wanted to do, if it's possible, like, is this a, I don't know if this planet is inhabited at all, but if so, culture roll?
Sure. As everyone's pondering and thinking hard. I like this hard thinking. And don't forget, if you do have a familiar, and it is for one of those skills, because when you get a familiar, you pick a skill and it gives you blue dice. So don't
Yep.
forget that. If you're using the familiar, which means you're talking with it, using it
Do
as
you
a
buy a
crutch.
familiar? Is that like something you buy or pay for? Or?
That would usually be something at this point, since we're all cash poor, that you started with.
Oh, okay. Yeah, didn't.
It's basically,
So.
think of it as a dumbed down droid.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I don't have one, so.
Oh my god.
I did not see what this happened.
So,
Man, that's just the difficulty of the day, ain't it?
yep. Well, it literally is the ass end of space. I mean, and just recently, society is reestablished with this planet. So, conveniently enough, our little unbeknownst to the rest of you, space pirate, I know, that's a stereotype, who, by the way, is totally getting, as you stop and talk, to yourself for a second, and you totally get the aha, you know about this planet. Aha! You remember hearing some shit about this newly found planet in the ass end of space. And you know for a fact that there is and it could be the Levnex in you that totally knows the information about this planet. But Heron's Truce is a barely livable rock that, of course, is glazed with heat on one side, frozen on the other, has this small habitable equator around the planet, literally just right between the sweet zones, that people can live on it. And the thing you do know about it is that the planet was established by survivors of a war that was, of course, taking part during the era of the Dusk Wars, where it's basically the Letnev. You might be familiar with that race. Because, of course, if it's not nailed down, they'd like to add that to the barony. Also, the genius little college of the Hyrule were wanting this planet for its resources. And at the time, because the Hyrule were wanting anything, and this is during the Dusk Wars when grudges were being settled, a certain interesting energy species that you know of that are made of basically a core of fire rock, and their bodies are made of living flame. The Gishlai, they're basically the fire people. They live in armored suits so they don't roast all their friends. Back, way back during the Dusk Wars, these three races were all fighting each other, and then things went dark, and everyone lost contact with them. Well, from what you know with your contacts, is as just a basic general social knowledge you have, that all three armadas crashed across this planet, and lo and behold, the fire elementals could have it the hot side, the water breathers could have it the water equatorial area, and the Letnev were okay with the dark side because, well, their world has no sun, so it's cool. And the survivors, basically, from what you've heard, came to a truce, henceforth the name of the planet, was the commander of the armies that said, hey guys, let's cut this down and get some civilization going here so we don't kill each other. And they basically salvaged all of their ships and technologies and basically made a community of all three races. But the juicy parts that you've heard of is that recently, since they've reestablished contact about 2-3 years ago, so it's super recent, that they've had a flush of imports of new technologies, new items. The Hakan were really quick to get directions to this planet and start commerce, and they do lots of exports of the frozen side. They mine it for chemicals and gases that are in solid frozen form, and there's lots of interesting ores salvaged on the fire side of the planet. And it is a interesting hodgepodge society where three races that don't like each other learn to really like each other, especially since two of them used to be like mortal enemies, and the third race is just a bunch of douches.
We all have our little flaws.
So that's what you got for
the Letnev are the douches, but
yeah. So, is there any one question you'd like to ask?
Did he say what our actual mission was?
Not yet. He was getting to it as everybody was rolling rolls, but I'm looking to see if our Letnev has one question for those 3 successes he'd like to ask.
Slow walking it.
I guess the question would really be, if we're being, without knowing exactly what we're going for, would I know, ahead, would I have any knowledge ahead of time to what, reason we might be going there?
Well, as a freebie, remember the Keleres are a underfunded, undermanned mission to try to take care of 1 billion worlds at once. So it's probably just that the living computers spit out that it wants agents to go there because their informant said something, and you guys were the first one here, so you're the first ones getting sent.
Okay, I was just wondering if there might be some other ulterior motive reason that we might be going there.
Not that you would know for sure. I mean, it will be interesting because as a Letnev who's not part of the barony, you may be running into other Letnev who have had no contact with the barony for many generations.
Okay, cool.
That might be interesting. I mean, as I will totally throw it out there, as your background is what it is, you may totally want to establish contact with these guys, with your guys. It's an independent world. You do know from your history, it is an independent world, which means technically you got no real authority to come here.
Okay. Well, so maybe, I know somebody who knew somebody, way back when, and just have a little bit of an inkling into how to approach the situation when it comes.
I mean, once upon a time, the barony wanted this planet because somebody else did. I mean, it would have been funny if the Letnev got this planet and then they'd be like, what the fuck does anyone want with this world? It's a piece of crap. And then, of course, the smart little aquatic guys would be saying, here's the shopping list of things we want. And the fire guys are like, hey, we can mine that shit on the hot side of the planet and totally use that to make a star, Death Star. Oh, wait, we already made one of those.
Right?
And of course, for those 2 threats, you get the dirtiest look from your custodian as he goes, from your daydreaming on your knowledge society roll, as you're tapping your forehead, your chin, trying to remember about what you've heard about this planet.
Could I instead have, in the interest of fostering cooperation in the group, have actually told everybody this, and maybe he's annoyed that I'm playing Mr. Know-It-All?
Oh yeah, he'll totally give you that look.
You interrupted him?
When you blurb out your info dump and interrupt his flow, as he's just looking at you dumbfoundedly and not happy.
What? Doesn't everybody know this?
Making friends, I see.
As he just gives you the as he waves his hand in his data pad to zoom in a little on the planet, as he says, I am well aware you are newly sworn Keleres, but you are being sent to this world as an advanced team to learn what you can. As previously stated, your compatriots, Rulars Bardoon, and he waves his hand at your buddies. Hollow, demographics pop up, totally shows his face in his suits. On the plus side, you see this blinking thing that says air breathing and water breathing. So he's amphibious, not just a water breather. That doubles his odds of survival.
Yep.
We'll be waiting for you on planet side for you to complete your mission. Contact our informant on the planet. Gather whatever information you can and Supply the council with what you have learned and await for further orders. And then he basically pauses, and it takes you guys like half a second because you guys see that he's actually circling the hangar instead of going in, and for you to realize that he's pausing for this is the question part of the introduction.
Yeah, so I kind of look at him like,
What types of things do you want us to investigate and find out?
He gives a long sigh. We would like to find out what the L1Z1X are doing on the planet, if they are even there. Some alarmists often trigger reports that the shadow of the Empire are at places and doing things when they really are not. If you can secure evidence that the L1Z1X are there, find out what they are doing and report back. If they are doing anything that will interfere with our procedures, you have permission to intervene on behalf of the Keleres.
Oh, this is interesting. This actually lines up really nicely with one of my benchmarks.
so we can engage. Alright.
You have permission to engage. But first,
We need a way to get there.
he says no. You would need to locate our informant on the planet. The only information we have, and he totally sees him wave over his pad and the hologram comes up of a informant data sheet. Unfortunately, it's all redacted. And the picture is a generic meme silhouette. So you have no idea what race or, sex or anything on the informant. The only thing you see on there is the designation is cat's paw. As he smirks at your heckin' teammate and says, the informant's name is Cat's Paw. And he gives you a second to suck that under.
That's an ironic name for a rat.
And as you say that, he says, the only other information we know of is Cat's Paw operated out of the merchant quarter on the planet.
So assumptions can potentially be made.
As you say that, he actually makes this derpy smirk, like, I'm glad I'm not the only one that made that connection. You are the right team! As the look alone establishes that he now feels confident in you guys.
Huh. I'm glad I can make his day.
And as to your question of how to get there, yes. You will be traveling to a distant, obscure part of space that most of you have probably not heard of. It is a wild region of space called the Mahakt Plateau. And of course, somebody's feathers get a little ruffed just at hearing that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's named after the Gene Sorcerers probably doesn't mean that they're there. It has
Probably.
a small and
No, why would
species
something
population.
be named after somebody that's not there?
Yeah, listen, just because this plateau is called the Fields of Death doesn't mean anyone's died there. Come on.
And
They just call it that.
And to kind of mock your new Letna friend, he does point at the picture's hologram showing that there is all of the very small mixed species population, and you see like little demographics pop up that, inhabit this narrow habitable band between the day and night sides of the planet. It is
With the exception of...
It has been effectively lost for a millennia following the destruction of Mechatol Rex's legendary Hall of Cartography during the Twilight Wars. And of course, immediately, any of you guys at basic galactic school see this beautiful Library of Alexandria on the planet getting destroyed. Of who knows how many mountains of knowledge that were just lost in this one library's destruction.
Nothing of value is lost.
Okay, I have a question. If this is an independent planet, and our organization is so spread out and doesn't have enough resources, and we don't actually have any jurisdiction there to begin with, why are you sending us there?
And he looks at you and smiles. A beautiful smile with teeth showing. It's funny because their teeth have a yellow tint. And he says, the reason why your group is being sent there was first because our informant is providing information of importance. But my fellow custodians have searched the records and confirmed that the star of Herul's truce, and he waves his hand, you see the solar system again for a quick second, was listed under its original cartographic designation in an ancient mag plate, inventorying the site as a Lazek's military population's research outpost. And sadly, it's only designating the planet. It doesn't give you any maps or anything cool there. And as some of you during your Keleres training totally know, that any planet that the Lazek's used for military anything is usually like some horrible bad place to go because it's where they did weapons research on a place that would not impact the Empire. There's actually one planet that the Keleres sent people to train during their boot camp that it's an old weapons cache place. And the problem is not the weapons, it's that people have found the weapons and unleashed them. Like nano swarms, viruses, plague bombs, things like that. So just by saying that this was an ancient Lazek's outpost does give you guys credence as Keleres to be there because, hey, you're there to make sure the old Empire shit doesn't, end up on somebody's shoe. And the fact that they have
coming for the Empire.
And the fact that the L1Z1X, which are the heirs to the Empire, just to coin a phrase that we all know, they have information about the Empire that the Empire no longer had because they left the Empire before the catastrophe. And then they became the Borg and had a hive mind collective. And so who knows what they know about this planet? I mean, all the custodians can say is it's on the star charts as a military research outpost. Which means there could be weapons of mass destruction, there could be weapons research, there could be armies of who knows what, there could be, dreadnought ships buried under the ice to totally steal the episode 7, 8, 9. There could be weapons of mass destruction to steal Desert Storm, No chuckles? Not a single chuckle? So you get the feeling that yes, there is credible reason for you guys to do this, to be there. And
even a war sun hanging out there.
Yeah, the planet itself could be one for all you know. It could suck the light out of its star and shoot beams across space.
War suns are bad.
Yep. And of course, most of you guys know the L1Z1X were admitted to the council only after, they would be recognized to stop attacking council planets. So nobody likes the L1Z1X at all. So anytime they're snooping around something, that's a reason for you guys to be around snooping to see what they're snooping at. Why?
Their plan.
Because the Keleres are technically the L1Z1X cockblockers. And I know the question, but does anyone have a good medicine skill? Anyone got any ranks in it, I should say?
Let me see.
I got 2 green.
I know somebody besides our field scientist had medicine, I thought.
I have it as I think it's a career skill. Did I take it is the question. It's a career skill, but I didn't take any ranks, so I have 3 green.
Okay. Yeah, I just have 3 green as well.
Go ahead and give me a 3 green roll there with your... I could have taken medicine, but I opted out of it. He was totally flirting with the nurse that day. And obviously that goes to show it.
Well, yeah.
So any additional questions you have for him is you totally are aware that you're spiraling around this building multiple times now. As he's totally just buying time for you guys to ask any and all you think because yes, your briefing was super abrupt, super quick. And
I don't
he's
see
still
a general science skill.
That's usually like knowledge
Would it be-
education sort of stuff.
knowledge intelligence.
Okay. I'm taking a look at this picture, and for a planet that doesn't rotate, it looks a little bit weird. Does it look like it was stopped rotating by something?
I mean, yeah, by tidal forces.
Well, no. I meant, I meant.
No giant craters.
Yeah, I meant, scientifically or.
I mean, give me a knowledge
Mad
intelligence
scientist
roll.
like.
That's a valid point. I mean, your custodian
That's
may not
intellect
know,
science.
but maybe
There's
you
two
do.
advantage. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm actually going to say that aloud because I ain't got no science.
As he just totally looks upon you and says, "That would be a good question to ask your missing compatriot. I'm sure his large little brain is versed in astrocartography and things of that sort. Unfortunately,
Large little brain.
his large little brain. Unfortunately, I believe that is all the information necessary for you, except for how you're going to get there, as you had requested earlier.
Yes, Pip.
Speaking of,
Thankfully, our generous benefactors, and you see him totally inwardly sigh when he says that, because you guys know the Keleres are basically a on donation basis, organization where everyone's supposed to contribute. The college was willing to donate a Hylar Overture class cutter for your use. I do apologize if it is a little moist for your tastes. As you totally see, that's probably the closest thing to a joke you're going to get out of him. It's totally some bad, dry humor about an aquatic species ship. But it is all the Keleres can offer you at this time.
moist.
Dry humor. So, for those two advantage, could I just have him let slip some other piece of information at your discretion?
As he will totally make some comment about the L1Z1X, basically saying don't allow them to make you part of their hive mind, the mind net. And when he says that, there's just utter disdain coming off of his tongue. Because even the custodians don't think the L1Z1X are the inheritors of the Empire. They're basically abominations.
That sounds about right.
As he says that the ship has been retrofitted and fully supplied, along with being equipped with hazardous environmental gear to allow you to survive in a vacuum, extreme heat, or in extreme cold for up to an hour. As those of you that don't want to be going into a fiery rock or a frozen wasteland, you appreciated that spacesuits were provided.
I prefer to stay in the center, but
This porridge is too hot. This porridge is too cold.
Since I actually have a spacesuit, is it better than the ones they're giving the others?
Oh, yeah, it's way better than what they're getting. These are basically those really crappy suits you'd see in a viral breakout that don't provide much protection but will keep you alive.
Oh, okay. Mine's like armor.
Yeah, as you can see, I posted in the notes, the hazardous environmental gear will let you survive in a vacuum, extreme heat, extreme cold for up to an hour, but adds 2 black dice to all athletics and coordination checks. Because it's got the big pudgy fingers, and it's basically a one-size-fits-all. Think every bad 60s sci-fi ever. As he totally waits to see your acceptance that we're being so generous in providing these.
Yeah, I got my own spacesuit, thanks.
Yay.
We'll hopefully avoid the need for those. But we do appreciate the ship.
Let's hope it's in better conditions than the suits.
Where are ships in the stupid book?
They are the broker.
Chapter 3, page 134.
4 is where it starts. Yep. If you're
Oh,
asking
you have
for
a
the stats
token
of your
now.
ship, conveniently on your character
Oh,
sheets,
vehicles.
you will see
Okay.
that there is a character sheet for your ship that you should all have access to.
Yep.
Where is that ship? It's moved around somewhere.
Sorry about that.
And yes,
I didn't see it on the...
in your player handouts, if you want to see the picture of your custodian friend, he's got a character sheet with a picture on it.
Oh, there are no weapons on this, I see. Okay.
It is a courier ship that is quick and fast, but no weapons. And to quote the book, because the different species have different styles of equipment design, the ship is technologically advanced, but with little care for elegance. Focus is for pushing technology to its limits, which our Heckin will definitely like for piloting, because he's like, let's see how fast this baby can go. Most items included onboard savants and other computational devices to help. So they basically have the little, paperclip guy that's there to help you. And most things aesthetics are galvanized steel that predominates the appearance with brass and copper highlights. Because galvanized steel rusts less.
Right?
And of course,
Yay.
on the ship it uses the piloting skill, which thankfully at least one of you has. Normally you have a pilot and a navigator/engineer. It's your Han and Chewie combo. You can take up to 14 passengers. You have 2 months worth of consumables. You have a medium ranged hyperdrive that has average speed. It could totally have been better, but and the best part is on board, the one nice feature about this is it's got really good defense. I mean, it's like defense 4, so that's really nice. And you have a adaptable med bay that when making a check to heal wounds, strain, or critical injuries while on the ship, your character can always use the medicine skill as if he had tools, and adds a success and an advantage to the results.
Ooh, that was nice.
It's almost like those little aquatic guys like they're med doctors to do their job.
When we're on the ship, can I use my mechamiliar that's a mechanic to help the engineer?
If you loan him off, you can.
Okay.
Usually he's basically like your little personal helper, but if you basically tell him, hey, yo, go help that guy, you can totally in character say that he's helping that person.
Okay, whenever we're on ship, he's helping the engineer, because, I wouldn't need him.
As if Rub Lars will want him. He'll be like, take your inferior equipment back.
Oh, unless you have one of your own. My piloting is 1 yellow and 2 green. My mechanics is 2 green. So, anybody got a better pilot?
Piloting.
I'm 3 green.
I'd be 4 green.
Yeah, I was gonna say 4 green.
Mechanics, I also have 3 green.
As
That one I am also
he's
3
listening
green as
intently
well.
as you all are discussing how good you are. I'm an okay mechanic, you know. He's totally giving this proud papa look at you that's odd on his face. I mean, he is your custodian after all. Your success rate is his success rate.
Like, we wouldn't want
Yeah,
to let
except his butt stays back on the planet, right?
Oh, of course he stays here. Why would he leave the planet?
He's got a custody duty to do.
Yeah, he's got things to custode.
Future generations need him.
Is there something we're waiting for on the ship?
As he waits for you to finish discussing this and says, yes, the cutter, which has not yet been given a name, is waiting for you at the station as he gestures at this, ship docking station that you guys have been circling around for like 5 minutes now.
Boy, somebody's sure making us come up with a lot of names.
Well, since our team name is Monkey Wrench, maybe it should be the Barrel.
Okay, since it's called an overture, let's call it Weber.
Let's call it 1812.
1812.
As he has this very awkward smile, and if you've ever seen the Sheldon smile, you know that awkward smile I'm talking about, where he looks at you and says, excellent, so allow us to dock so you can find your ship, because it is good luck for those species who believe in such a trivial thing, for a new group of Keleres to have a new and unnamed ship to help foster, and he totally gestures the foster a coercive team unit. And he totally basically gives you a hard copy of the vagueness of the mission that you've been given, as well as, his contact information to contact him directly.
Do we get like our official badges and stuff?
You do have your official badges.
Badges?
You got some
Badges.
badges.
I want my stinking badges.
And as you pull up there, you clearly see on the space dock there's a ground level A level, and he says, here is your ship's credentials, and he basically gives you the little fob for your ship. And your ship should be at berth A5. Good luck.
Okay,
Alpha 5. Right.
So here's a game mechanic thing.
You have to remove the parentheses Scott from your character's name on the thing.
Oh, for your...
And then also make sure it's exactly the same inside your character sheet on the
name tab.
On the character info tab.
You knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yep.
You guys are putting yourselves on your ship, aren't you?
Yeah, you can see my last roll was me doing it with the ship. Unfortunately, the ship does not recognize astrogation as a thing because it's using Genesis astrogation, but this is Shadow of the Beanstalk character sheet.
Astrocartography, yeah.
Yeah.
But same.
Yeah, it's
Close
just
enough.
for navigation you can't use the thing.
Yeah.
Because
it's way more fun to use your character sheet that lets you take off some negative dice for, I think, the one person who has it.
Alchemy skill for the engineer. All right.
Yeah. Same, but different.
And as he parks, he hits the button and the rails retract, the little rampy comes out, and you see that you're within like 3 easy steps of the people mover. You know, like if you're at a nice airport that's got the people movers.
Ooh. Wait a second.
Yeah, it didn't
That's
like
not
that
my
either.
card.
The hell? Didn't mean to do that.
Apparently, it is not pulling your dice pool.
And how did I do that? I somehow popped out the chat to its own window. Didn't know you could do that.
Oh yeah, you can pull the chat out if you have your character sheet pop out. You can grab it and pull it out. And it's
Never
a pain
realized
in the
that.
butt to get back in.
Well, I got it back, but when I exited out, it popped back. But I was like, oh shit, because it took it away from that space. I'm like, oh.
So apparently we may just have to manually put in what your dice pool is in the dice section.
Yes.
Because apparently it don't like that.
Wow.
Whoa,
The
what
hell?
was that?
Holy shit.
Same.
Whoa.
That's something. That's broken as hell.
Whoever's doing that test roll, remember, that's how I think somebody may have killed one of the chat rooms in another game.
Yeah, well, it's whatever. Somebody needs to quit doing what they're doing, and
Whoever's clicking test, stop. Okay, so of course
it's funny.
you know.
When I had the ship name, test name, it spit that out. But as soon as I remove the name, it does that.
weird.
Let's not do that.
I think I might have found a bug in their code.
There you go. Now it's your sworn duty to report it.
Yeah.
Because whatever that was, you were rolling 6 blue, 8 green, 12 yellow, 6 black, 8 purple, 12 red, and 12
I think it
white.
just rolled the maximum of everything that was available.
Yep.
Well, and the results are the same each time, so yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just giving the icon results as opposed to actual results.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, that's the thing where if you name the ship test name, just one word, it does that. That means test name, all lowercase, one word, is a keyword in the JavaScript backend of this site. And that is technically an injection attack. That's pretty funny, guys.
Nice.
You've broken
Good
the
to
code.
know.
But hey, at the very least, if you notice, you get to see what every side of the dice looks like.
Right.
Because it
True.
does give you each side of the dice.
Yep.
So there's some good dice mechanic knowledge for you. And like I say, if you look at it more often than not, you're getting advantage.
Alright. So,
Okay.
obviously skills aren't working, but that's alright. Or at least not in the ship, so that's alright.
So he basically, he looks at the 4 of you again, gives you this once more, he looks down the line of all of you, and he gestures with his head towards the ramp as in, go, it's time to go.
Yeah, and that guy kind of gives him a curt salute and steps off.
And he totally gives you a very respectful nod, by the way. It's almost super deep and respectful for our Argent Dawn gentleman there. It's almost like he might know something about your order there.
Right.
At least that's what they
So-
consider you guys.
Same. I'll give the polite nod and head out.
He gives a very shallow, just general nod.
I'll take it.
Looks like we can't update the dice on that at all. That's strange. Something's wrong with the ship character sheet.
Yep. Well, don't worry about it. We'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Congratulations, Twilight Imperium has way less space combat than Star Wars. In fact, my one knock against it is ships have no hard points and there's no ship mods whatsoever. Gear has hard points and mods, but ships do not, interestingly enough.
So they're just conveyance side note.
Yep. That, and just from when I was looking at the stats of some of the big ships, because remember this is a tabletop game based on whoever ship's bigger just wins, that ships are used as narrative tools more than ship-to-ship combat. Or like in real life, if you're in a spaceship, you're not going to endanger that.
Right?
You wanted prisoners? Oh, you shot the ship and killed everyone. Sorry.
Yep. Now we board the ship and kill them all. Take the ship.
So of course, he drops you guys off with the last thud of the space trunk off the platform, and the ramp comes up, and he says, "I look forward to hearing your reports. Please do not lose or damage the ship, for it may be some time before one can be arranged to replace it."
No problemo. And we'll head to that space dock.
Okay, so you guys head on into the space dock. You see the huge number of ships that are in there. About 40% of the spots are all empty. And you guys, do the whole, I need to go to this place. You walk by the guy that's sitting at the little kiosk booth. Totally, he's got the scummy little office like the U-Store type places. Someone give me a perception check for the group.
Oh, let's see.
If you guys start looking around this place and you realize whoever laid this out did not do it alphanumerically.
Oh, well, of course. I have 2 yellow and a blue, I think.
Somebody's got eagle eyes. We're going to have to call him Eagle Eyes. Oh, wait.
Funny.
I think from everyone's silence, you beat them.
Yeah, I think so.
As he totally tilts his head in a falcon-like way.
Looks over my...
You could ask for directions, but he's not going to ask for directions. He's going to look for himself.
Heck, no. Ain't asking for no directions. Alright, that's...
Asking for directions? What? That would be like me asking for more of a briefing that actually had some information in it.
Yep. You ready?
Yep.
Wow.
So, what would you like for those 2 advantages?
Okay, I'm kind of back. I'm getting into Roll20.
Oh, okay. Did you get knocked off?
Didn't notice.
My system crashed. I sent you a note.
Oh, sorry. Was it on Facebook or?
Yeah.
I do not have Facebook up at the moment since I didn't want the blue.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, I just saw your message.
That's what's the easiest on my phone to get to.
Oh no, I totally understand. Okay, so you guys are looking for the space sleuth that you're looking for, and obviously you guys get a little lost looking for it. You totally realize that the attentive, eagle-eyed person in the group would probably be better to ask for directions, but you will eventually find slot A5.
But I do find a really good eatery along the way with some actual cultural food available.
Okay, yeah, you totally find there's a nice little eatery that has a huge variety of good actual cuisine. There's a mild line for the spacers coming in and going out because they want to grab real stuff as opposed to like the paste that the ships carry. And,
What's wrong with paste?
Does anyone want to spend some of their hard-earned cash on buying gourmet food before you head out?
That depends on if I can get a snack for less than 21 credits.
For
Yeah,
one
like how much are we
for
talking
one
here?
credit, you can totally get a bag of fresh wrigglers.
Alright.
Specially bred worms that are delicious. Avians love them.
I'm not really a
They're like
worm
mealworms.
bird. I'm more of a little meat bits or something with
Okay.
seasoning.
I will spend the 1 credit for the good last meal before the launch, as is tradition,
That's
and I will have my cheeseburger in paradise.
Cheeseburger in paradise.
As all soldiers know, as all sailors know.
Grab one good meal before you leave.
Yeah,
Gotta fill the
that's
gullet.
I don't understand the kerfuffle about good food. What's wrong with the nutrient paste?
I'm gonna get a meal to eat and one to go for the microwave later.
While we are here, I am going to since we found the ship. Yes.
No.
You ended up finding the sleuth for the ship, and the berth is empty.
Oh.
It has a nice little door and a window, and you look in the air, what should be a nice hangar with a ship inside it, and it's empty.
Oh boy. Oh goody.
Wow! Someone stole our ship before we even got on it. That's quick, even for us.
Kind of impressive, actually.
Probably somebody misparked it.
I mean, what do you guys do? Is you're wiping your mouths from the quick lunch you guys had, since you couldn't find it the first time. We stopped for lunch, knowing we'd find it the second time.
Yeah, well, we'll stop and get a
I mean,
an
you guys
officiary of the place.
Yeah, is there anybody official looking?
There's totally the
Okay.
guy at the kiosk. There's ground crews that fix, repair, and fuel up the ships walking around. There's the computer terminal.
James?
Good of that.
I'm walking around the decks, and I'm looking for other Hakan spacers.
So you're gonna get into the lift and go up to level B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I.
Oh, so our section doesn't have other Hakan spacers?
It might. I mean, you guys didn't see any the first time around. That's the problem.
Let's start by checking
You
the
guys were
terminal.
looking for the ship and not the hangar numbers, and that's probably why you got lost the first time. But you don't recall.
I'm gonna double check that we're in the correct slip.
Okay. How are you gonna do that? Computers or?
Yeah.
I'm going to do a knowledge society roll to see where the spaceship should be.
Society
we
wouldn't
know, we were
really
already
tell
told.
you that, because
That's literally my society.
no, what I mean is
Yeah, but-
society has nothing to do with the parking spots. They're not by species. It's a first come first served type of hangar deal.
Yeah.
So there's
and it's a Highland ship,
no racial splits on the parking.
No. What I'm saying is that my society would know how to find our spaceship. That's what we do.
It would be if a Hakan clan was in charge of this place, but it's not. That's the problem.
Okay.
You're super frustrated because if this was a Hakan facility, no ship would be misplaced. And that's what you're getting the feeling, that the ship somehow got, air quote, misplaced.
Okay.
Yep. Let's check a
That's
terminal.
valid.
Yeah,
I mean, a Hakan will misplace a ship real quick after losing a poker game, but
So give me your computer's check as you're totally going up to the terminal and saying, okay, is this actually our pad? Bip, 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 bip.
sure. Beep, 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 beep.
As you totally see in the sleuth, it designated that for exactly 56 planetary hours, there was a ship in that sleuth. Unfortunately, it was moved about 4 hours ago.
Oh, great, cool. Where was it moved to?
Are you spending your 2 advantage for that?
Yeah, I'll spend my 2 advantage on that.
You totally see the ground crews, as there's a hissing sound of moving equipment happening in the background.
7. There we go.
Yep. As it was totally moved to berth B6.
All right, boys. Turn it around. B6.
Bingo.
Bingo 6.
You sunk my battleship.
Okay, as you totally see in there that, it totally sounded like washing dishes, but I was just, saying it was moving equipment because it's fun that way. As you totally realize that the automated equipment picked up your ship and moved it to another hangar for some reason.
How
You do
rude.
have 4 successes, so is there any other information you would like to know?
Was this just a routine? It was here for too long, so they moved it, or did some kind of command come down
It
to
was
move it?
authorized to be moved by floor commander, and it gives level B. Haru at request of client, ship's owner, is the comment.
Okay.
They totally had to put a comment there of why they're moving a ship.
Huh.
Who's the ship's owner?
We'll have to complain to our handler. Didn't have right information.
Ooh, that might be like a moral imperative if you drop that on him. You gave us faulty information.
Right?
As he totally goes back and says, I have to commit seppuku.
I must commit honorable Sudoku.
So now that you know
way.
it should be up in berth B6. Are you heading upstairs?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully it doesn't take more than 4 hours to get there.
There's a handy dandy little lift. It's along the other side. B level is kind of a dark and sketchy, not well lit, area. Your Letnev friends probably think this is probably one of those levels that's meant for them because, it's nice and dark, right? It's supposed to be intentionally dark, right?
Yeah, this seems
How
sketchy.
wouldn't it be?
As you guys are totally walking up, casual as you do, is anybody gonna vigilance or perception as you're walking up?
Oh, for sure.
I'm always vigilant.
Vigilance is kind of like passive, isn't it? Generally.
Mostly, yeah. It's basically just what you notice as you're walking up before you step your foot into it.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to give me a roll, I might be able to tell you some stuff.
Yeah, I have the. Alright.
As our Letnev notices nothing other than the nice conditions of this level. It's nice and dark and shady, perfect for sneaking around. As you guys are going B4, B5, B6, and you see the door to the hangar is unlocked. And as soon as you kind of go there, you totally, see the doors open and ajar. And there's somebody talking and there's somebody else that kind of gives you, total irk of your ears. As before anything else interesting gets said, do me a favor and give me a vigilance check. But give me a second to clear the pool.
A vigilance initiative check?
Initiative check, yeah.
I believe the initiative checks bypass any pool you set.
Yeah, it should. I just like to clear the pool anyway, just in case.
Whoa.
Jesus.
So the question would be: so if the familiar gives a blue to perception and vigilance, but not for niche, right?
Anything that applies to the skill will apply to the initiative.
I mean, if you're saying your familiar is floating out next to you and working, then yeah it would give you your blue.
Yeah, it communicates through my whatchamacallit.
It says danger, Will Robinson.
Alright, so I guess I have to, but that's not going to pull from the skill, right? So I got to pull it here, or add the modifier here. Okay.
Danger,
now
trigger on
remember, that
Mirka.
totally means your little guy is always on and active, so I can shoot him when I can. And he was next to useful for you today.
They didn't do shit
There's
for me.
There's 2 purple on that one.
Oh.
I guess it doesn't. Wait, do you have the 2 purple set in yours, Dave?
No, I did.
I was gonna say
forgot to
that's not
pull
my
those off.
side.
Yeah. Did that screw up my roll, probably?
It did.
Yeah.
Let me delete it. Beep.
Yeah, it was
Go ahead
the
and roll
one.
it again.
Okay. There we go. All right.
There you go. You got exactly what you should have had.
Right?
I mean, then we have that ridiculous 5 successes. My God.
Oh, shit.
Jesus.
So as soon as you guys come walking up, you know, you're hearing the wheels on the spacer's trunk rolling, going ka-thunk, 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 plating. You guys come up and you totally realize that there are 4 sentients. It looks like one human, a Latnev, and 2 like basic service droids that follow their lead. And they're all wearing the same drab olive green uniforms. Looks like slightly armored spacesuits. And they have weapons out. And you guys come walking up as, you know, they're talking, and, you know, the human is definitely barking out an orders of, now make sure, and he's pointing his fingers, and you see the built-in knuckles on his armor. Make sure nobody gets in that door. And he points to the door just as you guys come walking up, and they see you, you see them, you see a Hyrule ship right there parked and ready and waiting. And you see a big sign over them that says B6.
And I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him.
There's a beautiful stare off that happens. Who's gonna jump first, since somebody's obviously ridiculously interested in acting first with those 5 successes?
Well, it seems pretty clear to me what's going on here.
Yeah, an unnamed ship getting boosted? What?
Yep. So, you said they've all got weapons out and ready and all that jazz?
You see that on their body armor, they've got basically the equivalent of, you know, weighted knuckles for beatdown, and 2 of them actually have ranged weapons. One is a pistol that the boss has got, and the other one has some kind of rifle. I mean, if somebody wants the perception, I can give more details, but just a quick
close are they all?
since you guys are at the door, you guys are pretty much all at short range.
Okay.
Alright.
Somebody want to talkie-talk, or are we just shooting? But from what I heard, I don't think there's really much talkie-talk.
I don't think there's any need for it.
I mean,
Okay.
they're in hazardous environment. Are these like uniforms that people at this dock would be wearing?
They do not seem to be any of the employees' uniforms that you've seen walking in.
Okay.
They themselves are wearing a uniform of the same type. So obviously it's some kind of organization going on here. But it is not a uniform you've seen anywhere in the Keleres base, or with any of the ground crew that operate this hangar.
And none of us recognize the uniforms?
Nope.
And they have weapons out already.
I mean, you could... I mean, it's just a pistol and a rifle, I mean.
And brass knuckles.
And brass knuckles. Emphasis on the brass knuckles.
Alright. Well, like I said, this looks pretty obvious to me, so it's blades out and dive right in.
Wow.
Going straight for whoever appears
I can see somebody jumping in.
Whoever appears to be the leader, that's why I'm like taking it right to.
That would definitely be the human. Got pistol in his left hand, pointing with his fingers that nobody gets in that door. As apparently our Letnev is jumping at the gun there. I like this. Do you have quick draw, by the way?
I don't, so I'm gonna have to use a maneuver.
Ooh, so 2 strain. I like that. So 2 strain for your maneuver to get in a short distance, and conveniently.
I thought you said we're already at short distance.
Well, to get from short to engage.
To get engaged.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then a
yeah,
maneuver to pull his sword, and he does this cool thing where his one sword becomes two swords in a flash, right?
What's cool about it is that they're linked. I don't have to dual wield differently.
Well, that you do get the extra purple for dual wielding. It's just that you get linked one for free.
Right, which means that
Which
Yeah,
means you can get
with
3
the
hits
advantage, you
conceivably.
get to.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah. So I'll definitely go paired on
Okay,
them.
so paired's going to add an extra purple, so it's 2 purple. And they've got 1 defense. And you're going for
3 purple.
3
3 purple, sorry.
3 purple.
Sorry. I had 3 on the screen, but I said 2 in the words. So I've got a black for their armor as you're jumping right at the human's throat. I like it. I like it a lot. But don't click yet, because I haven't put that upgrade that you click like ridiculously early on it. Which I also like. I'm on the board, boys.
That 5 initiative was like I was that fast.
Hey, you know culturally and from your background, it's best to be the one to throw the first punch.
And the last.
Go ahead and roll when you're ready. Watch some like bizarre triumphy stuff happen. No triumphy stuff.
Oh wait, I should have hit the. That was the wrong thing. That's 10 damage. But because I did it through the skill, not through the weapon.
That's okay. Go ahead and click your weapon so we can see all the cool features.
Around.
Look at that.
I call shenanigans.
That's kind of fun.
Okay, so you slashed the guy for 10 points, you say. So what does
That's
it look like when you kill this motherfucker?
It's just like totally quick and clean.
Okay.
And silent. Quick, clean, and silent.
So this guy's just talking, points towards the door. You dash inside and just put your sword sideways through his neck, and his eyes roll back and he gurgles down off the end of your blade. That's some pretty dark shit there, Peacekeeper. Okay, so
Okay, my turn.
who's going next? As you've just witnessed murder.
I am. So, the rest of you can leave now, or we're gonna kill you. That's a negotiation.
I feel like that's coercion. By definition.
Yeah.
Oh lordy. And you know, since you've already murdered someone, I will totally give you a blue to that. Do you have anything else that would buff up the roll?
Yeah, I've got 2 blue because I'm working with mammals.
Okay, I've got 3 blue in there for you against their willpower. Yeah, leave or we'll kill you. Oops, was I too late for that guy?
Okay, how about a leadership role? Like, you're going to leave as a command.
That would be coercion for the bossing them around.
Yeah.
Leadership is if they respect your authority, or as if you went, I am a Keleres, here's my badge, respect my authority. This is more of a
leave before
get the
we
fuck
kill
out now.
That's
anybody,
what I'm
and I
going to
say
do.
more of you.
Get out of our ship bay, or we're going to kill you.
Yeah, no, it's
More
more of coercion. If you want more of what you just saw, you better leave.
Mm-hmm.
Or
So
you're taking a dirt nap too.
Go ahead and make your roll.
Coercion's like my worst social stat, but okay.
You are getting 3 blue. I mean, that makes
Right?
up for a lot. But
Oh,
apparently
whoa,
not
but the 3
enough.
blue, you didn't click out.
Wait,
Yeah,
where's my blues?
You didn't click out, or you didn't add them.
My bad. Yeah, I was actually on the NPCs chart when I added that. So go ahead and roll 3 blue. Or do you want to do a re-over? Your choice.
I'll do a re-over, and I shouldn't have a yellow either.
No, that's because I had an upgrade still on the GM's pool. I was on the wrong character sheet. I put the difficulty on their sheet, not your sheet. Okay, go
Okay.
for it. Now I am scared that you only have one dice in it.
Yeah, that's scary.
Thank God for 3 blues.
Roll when you're ready. Okay.
Technically a better result.
As you basically say, get out of here, we're gonna kill the next one of you that moves. The
Wow,
guy
wasted blues.
totally
Yeah.
points at one of the droids and says, pick up the boss's gun and defend yourselves! As total encounter music starts up. And you totally see the droid, like, pick up the weapon. I have a pistol now. I've upgraded.
It kills me how bad the blue dice are on Roll20 because like it's only a 1/3 chance of it being blank,
And it came up
and
3
they're
times.
just always blank.
Mm-hmm.
That was ugly.
So who's going
Alright.
next
Well,
before
we're
they start
drawing and
shooting
we're
each other?
shooting. The rifleman.
I was gonna say, do you have quick draw?
I do not, so I'm just drawing and shooting, so no
Okay.
aim.
No aim. It's at short distance. 1
Yeah,
pip.
yep, short distance.
Armor gives him 1 black dice. And you're going after the one with the rifle, right? That just gave the droid orders.
Yep, and you can add a purple, because I'm gonna use painful blows, which is an incidental.
Ooh, I like that.
I didn't snow. Is it
Uh-huh.
an upgrade?
No,
So
I
let me
just
see.
spent a
If the
point.
target suffered, increase the difficulty. Sorry, not an upgrade.
Oh, okay. So,
So basically 1 purple additional.
yeah.
So 2 purple.
2 purple, which I upgraded one of those to a red to make interesting things.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yep. Their numbers have been depleted. Oh, but their numbers aren't depleted more.
So
2 damage.
2 points of damage.
Okay, as you zing an arrow that literally you guys hear it go whap, and as it shoots through his suit and out his suit and sticks in the wall behind him.
And if the target suffers 1 or more wounds from the combat check, the target suffers 2 strain each time they perform a maneuver until the end of the encounter.
Yikes.
As he basically has this hole going through his good shoulder. As he looks and realizes it didn't hit anything lethal yet, as it's just bleeding out profusely. Wow, he's not going to be able to take that for much. And it said
No.
suffer, right?
Suffer.
Keyword, which means it's unsoakable.
Yep, suffer 2 strain each time they perform a maneuver. So each maneuver until the end of the encounter.
Means he could conceivably kill himself pretty damn easy there.
It's a deadly skill.
It's a great skill.
Or talent.
You know,
Yeah.
it's almost like something a predatory bird would do. Let your
Predatory
prey
hunter?
sleep to death.
Right. That's exactly why I took it, because it's like it makes sense for a hunter.
Mm-hmm. As you go zink, all of a sudden
Theoretically, I only have to shoot you once.
they look at each other in shock and awe, and the dude with the rifle turns around, and immediately you hear the very primitive, nasty sound of a projectile weapon firing a bullet off with the gunpowdery smell in the air, and you're just like, wow, primitives. What is this? Primate
I
society?
can't complain when I'm using a bow, so.
Yeah, but yours is ultra cool technology. This is a slug thrower.
It is.
And he's totally gonna shoot at the bird guy that just put an arrow through his arm with a standard shot rifle.
Alright, and
Ouch!
I didn't even ask if I had defense.
Did you? Because I totally have one blank
No.
defense in there. Good thing it came
No,
with blank.
I don't.
And I actually need to re-roll that whole thing because there's a whole bunch of stuff that shouldn't have been in there. 'Cause remember when I
Yeah.
said I added the bad things to their character sheet?
Oh yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah,
I forgot to take that crap out.
Nothing came up. It's just all blanks.
I mean, I'd love that
Just
success triumph, but... And he's totally going to aim. And coincidentally, in the background, you see the guy with the droid with the pistol shoot his off to you at the same time, but, you know, only the important one hits. Oh, that's weak sauce. As he hits you for 8 points of damage in this hail of gunfire and pistol that goes kapow, kapow, and you're just like, really? Projectile weapons?
Oh gosh.
So, like I said, the bot shoots his pistol off and it ricochets off the floor, and the other one totally gets into this fighter stance.
Ding.
As it is the last of your turn.
Hey! I'm gonna go ahead and draw my beam pistol and take a shot at the guy that has a rifle.
Guy that has a rifle and a hole in his arm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe
Go ahead.
I'll have to.
and take your shot. Nice.
Damn.
So
5 damage,
points of
pierce 2.
damage. Ooh, pierce 2.
Ooh.
Ooh,
That
okay.
changes everything.
So that's the magic number. There is you finish off the guy with a hole in his arm.
I
As
thought 3 was the magic number.
3 is the magic number because you did 2 points and 1 extra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he drops to the ground, right, landing on his smoking barrel. And the two bots just look at you and look at each other and look at both their commanders down on the ground. And totally make this comment of, this is a legal search and seizure.
I very much doubt that.
Top of
Where's
the order.
the badges? Alright. So what do we have? Just two bots remaining?
Can I
Yep.
just aim and take a shot at one of the bots?
Sure you can.
I'll do that. I'll aim and take a shot at one of the
Okay.
bots.
Got a blue
So the
dice.
bots
in
are
there.
actually trying to claim authority in this.
That's what you just heard them say. I mean, you've committed murder. You're committed to your action here. Take your shot when you're ready.
I didn't commit murder.
No,
There's 6
We
damage
committed
pierce 2.
self-defense, not murder.
I just wounded him.
Okay.
And with the advantage, can I give the next one of us to go a blue?
Which is gonna be me.
That you can. As the
And also with the advantage from the last shot, could I give Evan directly a blue?
yes, you can. As the one that's holding the pistol of their boss is now shot, cracked his skull open, sparks shooting out, and his head hits the floor. Who's going next? And I'm assuming is Evan with those 2 blues.
Oh yeah. And I will aim.
Oh, for another
And
blue.
I will dual wield
Oh.
just to be fun.
Oh, I get some more points at least. I mean,
Yeah.
go for it when you're ready.
3 blank blues again. Let's see it.
Hey, we got 1 blue that was productive.
We did.
You have 3 purple now, right?
Yep.
He does
Okay.
now.
Oh.
9.
2 blank, 1 productive.
9 activate linked for another 9.
Okay, so I'll totally tell you you don't need to even go that far. Because 4 plus 5 equals 9. So your 9 points was sufficient to take out this guy that totally has his boxing posture up. What does it look like when you take him out with your blades?
basically, it's just like, real quick, I turn around and walk away before it even falls.
You do the Power Rangers turn around and walk.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
As he bisects, then hits the floor, smashing. And as he does, for those 3 advantages, you see the guy that you killed in one shot totally has a bloody sheet of plastic printed stuff under him that the pool of blood is gathering around. Do you totally pick it up for 3 advantages and look at it?
If I spend all 3 advantage, it must be important, so I'll do it.
As you totally whip it off because it's got blood on it, and you look down and read it, you totally see that it is a very legalish looking document sent by the parties of the universities of Jolnar. That's totally the little aquatic guys for the repossession of a fraudulently donated vessel.
How about that? Y'all want to go now?
And it totally matches the vessel you're looking at that's identified just by ID numbers because it doesn't have a name yet on the registry. And at least first glance, it seems completely legit. I mean, somebody could totally give it some like Streetwise or, computers to verify it, but it does look extremely legit at this very moment.
So,
her con be like familiar with like contracts and things like that?
I'll step over and I'll hand it over to the first person who appears interested.
I mean, can I take a look at it with some Streetwise?
Yeah, I'll hand it over to you and say, perhaps we should accelerate our timetable to leave, though.
Let me know, James.
He hands you this bloody piece of printed plastic, and your dice pool is ready. And the 3 threat is, of course, as you take the slip, it's just dripping all over your hand, your pant leg. Your boot has got a print on the floor in the blood. And to you, for your 3 successes, this seems like a completely legit document.
Well, good thing the Keleres doesn't recognize the authority of the universities of Jolnar.
They totally do, but only to a point.
They totally don't.
But only if they filed the proper paperwork.
The Keleres is a completely independent association, and the University of Jolnar is composed of a bunch of
slaving dicks,
nerds, complete fucking nerds.
Yeah. But just remember, it's a university. They've got a good law department.
There's a bunch of universities, so that's alright.
Yeah, you want to know what the University of Jolnar don't have? Football team. Let's go.
Why do you think they were trying to get the fire giants on their side?
Right.
Oh wait, they enslaved them too. Mistakes were made.
Anybody want to check these guys?
Do what?
Check these guys for IDs, valuables, anything like that. I feel like I've already done most of the heavy lifting.
He's like, I've murdered the guy, you have to loot.
We killed these guys, so now we just need to fucking loot their corpses.
That's not damning evidence if I've ever seen it.
They're not needing it anymore.
I will check them.
We're not going to loot their corpses.
We're checking them for anything of importance.
I mean, there's totally a shot pistol. There's totally a shot rifle. I mean, both of them have been discharged. I mean, the best part is they don't even have ammo. They just, run out when they run out with threats.
Can I do a perception to see where the cameras in this slip are?
Oh, I will totally give you everyone's identical, and it's totally got a camera on the inside.
Okay.
I mean, believe it or not, the shot pistol's got 2 hard points.
Ugh. Not worried about the pistols. But we'll check them for anything else of value and then head immediately to the ship.
Okay, so they totally have you pull out the boss guy's got his business card. It's totally got some credits on it. You'll find out in the future that it's got 200 credits on it, but just to let you know.
Alright.
And he does have a extra ammunition for his pistol, if anybody wanted that. And because he's human, he also has a light beacon, which is a small handheld object that emits light on command, found periodically everywhere. They are common in toolboxes, emergency kits, carried by security personnel across the galaxy. A light beam projects illumination out to medium range and removes the 2 purple for being in darkness.
Alright. Alright.
I'm
I
going to
grab
get
the
on the ship.
business. I grab the business card and get on the ship.
Mhm.
Okay? I'm like shocked and our guys are leaving guns behind for once.
Anybody good enough with computers to make it look like they shot first?
No.
That's the guy you're gonna go pick up.
Yeah. No, they threatened us with weapons. They had their weapons out and drawn and pointed at us when we walked in the door.
Not once did they point them in your direction. They just had them
He
out.
did. You said nobody gets through that door
And
as
he
we
pointed
were
with
standing
his
in the doorway.
and he pointed with his finger.
That was a threat. All they have is video, no audio.
Gesture.
They have no video,
Wait,
only
no.
audio, or no audio,
The
just
first
video.
thing,
He pointed while our weapons out and said, and obviously pointed at us standing in the doorway.
Okay.
I
Make up
agree
the audio story
wholeheartedly.
we want.
And who's got the ship's fob, by the way?
the ship's what?
Fob.
Fob. Key fob.
Like the key fob.
Probably me.
Okay, do you bip bip so that way the door opens up?
Sure.
You bip bip
That's a technical term.
as the hatch, the ramp comes up for the single person folks. You obviously know this is in fact your ship. You guys get inside. I mean, are you taking the
It would have been
body?
truly
Oh,
hilarious
yeah.
if it wasn't our ship.
Yeah.
We just didn't respond at all to it.
That would have been if Despair came up. It was totally the wrong sleuth.
Yeah.
Sorry, 45 minutes ago, someone moved your ship from this to another one.
Yeah. We can be kind and return the ship at a later date.
Or not.
I mean,
Just
it's
saying.
your ship. I mean, with the fob working, that beyond a shadow of a doubt, it's your ship. Are you guys just leaving the corpses on the deck?
9/10 of the law.
I have no
Actually, among the SAR, possession is not 9/10 of the law. It's 10/10.
I'm
They've got
content to
some-
leave them right there.
They've got Kender tendencies.
Yeah. Grab my arrow as we go.
Pull it out of the wall.
Jesus.
Okay, you guys get
Well, I
on
don't
the
want to leave
ship.
something like that behind as evidence.
No,
Immediately
I'm just saying
when
it's jammed in the wall after going through someone. Jesus Christ.
I'm figuring with that pierce, as long as it doesn't do that much damage, it's going just through things. Till it finds a solid
It's-
spot, it's going through things.
No real resistance, so
I
I can't even handle the arrows except for the end.
You touch the pointy end and you oops, there goes a hole through your hand.
Yeah.
Some joker on your planet turns the arrows upside down in people's quivers, waits to laugh. And it's
So you
probably
didn't even notice you did it until you looked down and saw the bloody hand.
Right?
Ah! It cuts so quick that nerve ending doesn't exist to feel the pain. So, is our pilot immediately going to go back and jump in and start pre-flight?
I guess that's the plan.
I'm gonna do a walk around to the ship and make sure there's not like a space boot put on it.
You look around and there's no grav boot, which is totally a thing, by the way. It's totally a thing. It just looks like the hangar's automated system just put the ship right down where it was, and these guys were just guarding it. I mean, from your sheet, they were just repossessing it, and they moved it to another hangar.
Yeah, and
They had 4 hours of prep time. They were so prepared.
Well, it's not like they had the fob to get on the ship. They just were locking the ship down as much as they can do, which entitles bribing the floor guy to use his computer to move the ship for him. Yeah,
They
one day
didn't have the key fob. Sounds like they weren't the actual owner.
And threatened us. They pointed at us.
And threatened
with
us.
Weapons.
Yep.
With weapons out, pointed at us.
just remember
Your
that.
Honor, I was afraid for my life.
Yep.
Listen, I
kept
stood
shooting
my
arrows
ground.
till I felt safe. So you get in there and immediately you put the fob in the spot where the fob needs to go. The ship starts powering up and immediately it does this whole Windows style boot up to let you know that yes, this ship is fairly brand new. It's been all completely wiped. All the computers are nice and new and upgraded and updated. The food packages have never been opened. The beds still have the plastic sheets on them to make sure that they're sanitary. And waterproof sheets, by the way. Yeah.
And right on the screen it says, "Would you like to install Microsoft Office 365?"
And immediately there's a blinking
There is no
cursor
skip
wanting
button.
to know ship designation.
True. So we'll fix that down the road.
Well, it's got to get that before it leaves the dock. Part
It's
of the
the
ship's
monkey wrench, right?
We're the monkey wrench.
Where the monkey wrench is the barrel of monkeys. Or just the barrel for short.
So you type in the ship's designation is Barrel of Monkeys.
I'm not the one at the helm, man.
Pilot, you tell me what you're typing in. Okay, Barrel of Monkeys out of Mechatol Rex, ship of Keleres.
We will lull all our enemies into a false sense of
Thanks to your fob, it's got a bunch of preloaded information, you know. And who does it list as the pilot, engineer, and commander?
I am pilot/commander.
Okay. As you're all like, guys.
Since I'm entering it in.
Yep. And as soon as you do that,
to beat TBA.
the ship starts warming up, things revving up, lights are all turning on, diagnostics are coming across the screen. And is anyone going to contact the command and control to open up your dock so you guys can leave?
Yeah, I'll talk to them.
Oh.
Okay, so you hit the comms. You immediately get the Keleres ship designated, and you hear him like pause for a sec as he's totally bringing you up. Barrel of Monkeys.
No. Barrel O monkeys. O apostrophe. Like o'clock. We're a barrel O monkeys.
Barrel O Monkeys. How can we assist you today? Looks like your ship's powering up for the first time there.
Yep, ready for maiden voyage.
I wish you good luck there. Should I list your designation? Looks like you had pre-flight instructions already provided. Is that correct?
That is correct. I'm sending them over now.
And immediately, guys, like that looks like you've got the coordinates in there. Some part of space I don't seem familiar with, but looks like according to the navigation computer, it confirms that you've got a 3-week trip there.
At 3 weeks to the ass end of nowhere.
Anything I can help you with there as you're about to set off? Your coordinates have been updated as well as your navigation computer. Your ship is fully fueled up.
You got a good riddle for me to think on while I'm out there?
If there's no sound in space, what's the sound of a fart from one of the Imperium sound like? Space birds, space birds.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll think on it and get back to you when we get back.
Good luck with that, and see you in a few weeks. Maybe a few months, depending on how things go.
All the best.
Have a good one. And he totally hits a button on there, and you see the little HUD display on your screen show you the safe way to leave the planet, so no air traffic will bother you.
Okay. Want me to make a piloting roll?
And as you're getting ready to do that, go ahead and yes, give me your maiden piloting roll. As the ground control will totally don't roll yet now.
Yeah.
As someone's being super safe.
Oh.
Apparently, super safe.
Oops.
I'll
Listen, Dave,
totally give you one back there.
Thank you.
And
No, I mean I'm using a story point because I'm used to your piloting.
But he already rolled a story point.
Go ahead and since you are using command and control's help, they will totally give you a blue. And make your piloting roll as you pull out for the maiden voyage on your ship. You guys seem to feel some weird slushy sluggishness. Apparently life support is made for air and water breathers, so if you need to, you can always flood the ship at a moment's notice.
Yeah, no.
There's big blue buttons. Okay, that's just not right.
Oh yeah, no, don't use the ship. Don't use the ship.
Use your character sheet.
It's not working.
Oh. Okay.
I was about to say, you had one job.
To be fair, it was a wash.
Okay, tell me when everything's up there.
It's your stuff that was missing. Everything's good.
There
we go. As you take off through the wild blue yonder, your exhaust from your engines make the bodies flop around a little, leaving some Rorschach bloodstains on the ground.
We have our custodian's contact information, right?
You totally have his contact info. He specifically gave you his private channel to report back to him when you need to.
I'm gonna send a message to him and say,
up on aisle 5.
Well, it's like ship wasn't where you said. Slip B was a little musty. Could use some cleaning.
Ooh.
Say we were ambushed.
Complications. We were ambushed, and
It's gonna be at least 6 weeks before trial can happen.
I don't think they can extradite from this way far planet.
I mean, if they can, it's still going to take 6 weeks.
Well, I was figuring if you're going to be true outlaws, you take the bodies and you dump them on a planet with no extradition, which is where you're going.
Yeah, but that's admitting to a crime. We took out thugs that were trying to steal our ship.
So conveniently for this ass end of space you're going to, it is only a 2 purple astrogation. Who's gonna roll that 2 purple?
That'd be me. Let me know when.
It is totally ready for you. I was totally waiting for everybody to hit the upgrade button for that.
Hey.
One success, all you need, you guys get up to the nearest wormhole, you get the coordinates set, and you punch it, and you have a nice long screen swipe to 3 weeks of travel. Is there anything you guys want to do during this 3-week travel?
Yeah, recover my 5 points.
I mean,
My father-
over a week, you basically heal that up, so you'll be full without medical attention. Or you can have someone try medicine.
No, that's alright.
I mean, you already get an automatic success advantage on medicine.
True.
I'm going to
Anyone-
sit and think about the riddle.
Does anyone want to try a easy medicine, or is that half your life or more?
Yeah, we'll take the scarf. That's alright.
Okay, so you'll heal naturally. The plumage will hopefully grow back in time. Anything fancy you guys doing?
Yeah, I want to do more research on this planet we're supposed to be going to.
Okay, give me.
Is there anything more in our mission brief?
Not much more, other than that who you can report to on the planet. Once you get to there, you can report to either planetary customs and identify yourselves, or not identify yourselves to security forces and keep your cover. It's totally up to you guys.
While in, like, what's the status of communication while in transit? Is it the kind of thing where you can send transmissions or not, or?
So while traveling faster than space, you can send communications, but instantaneous communication does not exist.
Okay.
Thus, the ship that we're on.
Yeah, your ship is average speed, and it's taking 3 weeks to get there. In Twilight Imperium, faster than light is great, but it is not like Star Wars, space jumps.
Right.
Okay.
You mean
So
you
it'll
can't
take a few
skip
days
around?
back and forth.
Yeah, you basically have, sensors are pretty much on par, but communication takes a while to get there, and travel is ridiculously ponderous. Henceforth, why it's quicker to send you guys on a courier ship than it is to send a communication to a spy and wait for a response.
Okay.
Pretty
Gotcha.
much, he went dark, and they're sending you guys, and you guys are going to take 3 weeks to get there. If that gives you an idea. I mean, granted, if there would have been more successes, there may have been a shortcut or two, but you got enough to get there without running through a star or an asteroid field. So we don't complain. Good is good
Right.
enough.
So no calling mom while we're on the flight.
So is there anything fancy dancy you guys are doing, like any mods, anything like that? Anything over the next 3 weeks besides getting to know each other and having meals with each other?
Pretty much just that.
Nothing to mod on my weapon. They conveniently made that a 0 hard point.
Because it's kind of ridiculous as it is, but I'm going to have to make that quantum quiver available to you at some point. You're going to totally have to find one of your group that lets you fire 2 arrows instead of 1 and never run out of arrows. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But awesome at the same time. At some point, you'll be finding your faction and they will say, "Take this with you."
Yeah. Only 1 hard point on my armor, but not worried about that, I don't think yet.
Okay. Are you guys revealing any deep, meaningful shit with each other? Here's some RP material if you guys want to do anything. Or are you guys basically just spending your time in your bunks, not getting into each other's shit, and just doing your job?
Small chatter, but, not revealing anything major other than, target flight.
I'll spend the time getting to know the inner workings of the ship.
As you're being super snoopy because you may have to fix that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Because it's your ship. It's like a second mother.
Sure.
It's not that I'm very mechanically proficient. It's just I'm a spaceborne species. It's more of a comfort thing, knowing.
Yeah,
exactly
I'm going to when I'm not piloting, I'm going to be completely exploring the ship
figure out where those water rooms are?
There's totally these blue buttons. They're like emergency oxygen. Instead, they're emergency water flood. So in a pinch, you know that you can flood your ship, which might be really handy if, somebody ever attacks you and doesn't know that's coming.
Especially since we can have a spacesuit on that has water
Uh-huh.
or that has air.
That's what I'm talking about. So if like somebody boards you, you can always do the H2O code is the flood the ship and drown your opponents.
Code blue.
Okay, so 3 weeks pass as we get this little montage of what you guys are doing.
So Rove essentially, he's not going to press anybody to speak that doesn't want to, but he will try to go around and just kind of draw people in conversation just a little bit at a time. And then, he himself is an open book. He doesn't really volunteer anything, but he, answers like totally forthcoming and honestly any question that he's asked.
I tell all sorts of stories about my prior adventures, but it doesn't actually tell any specific information about like my species or my clan or things like that.
Your pride?
My pride, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all very swashbuckling.
Of course.
About all you get out of me is that I'm on assignment representing the Argent Flight, and they're the pride of the flight.
And I will totally give you that the first, kind of conversation starter you guys have is temperature on the ship.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely be working on as dry as it'll go.
It does have a humidity 0 setting, and I'm sure you all want that. But
yes.
You all kind of like slightly different temperatures. Is there any particular compromise you guys are going with?
Well, personally, I like it cold, but I'm fairly easygoing, so I'm not going to push that on anybody.
I'm pretty easygoing.
Cold is fine. Saves energy on heating.
There we go.
Yep. I'm pretty easy. I'm used to being out in whatever environment, so do what I got to do.
Is our HotCon members like, can someone open a window for a sunspot? My people come from a desert planet.
Yeah, but you got fur. He's all good.
Yeah, so I guess if it's cold and dry, we're all comfortable.
On the cooler side, but not cold. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Marvel at the med bay.
Oh, this is a great med bay. And the best part about it is all the tools are still in their plastic wrap.
So we know they haven't been anywhere unsavory.
So, do me a favor, whoever's gonna want to check the computers for more information, give me a computers check. And 2 people can work together if they want.
I would be happy to do any assisting.
I think that was Scott, right?
Or if nobody else wants to at all,
I do not have any computers with this character.
Oh, well. I thought you were the one wanting to look and check, though, so.
No, that was the royal we.
As he points at the computer and says, "We need to check that machine. There's an on button somewhere on it."
I'm too green, so, yeah.
That works on level.
Is the role a computer's role, or is the role like the
It's a computer's
role or something?
It's a computer's role.
You're searching the database.
Well, I will
As such that it has.
If anybody wants to help me out with this, that's cool, but otherwise I'll dive right in.
I'll look at it with you. Like,
Okay, so I got a blue in there
Got
for you.
nothing better to do. Hey, let's see if we can get something good here.
Ooh. Okay, I've got your upgrade in there.
Information is good.
Let's see what you get. Hey! As you realize the fob that you were given for the ship had some information front loaded into it, and now that it's in the ship, you can totally pull it up and you get all the information that your custodian has already given you, plus some really dry, generic stuff that he must have just glazed over in his own mind, letting you know that the native population is approximately 5 million sentients of different species, the Letnev, the Hylar, and the Gashli. They are descendants of the crews of enemy fleets that were marooned here during the Twilight Wars. Population is centered in one large city called the Span, which traverses the habitable band over a shallow sea and is built into sectors that match each species' environmental needs. So there's obviously an underwater section, a hot section, and then a comfortable section. The Span and planet are ruled by the Tripartite Commission, with each species represented on the commission. The planet was brought back into FTL contact with the rest of the galaxy by Hakan traders a few years before re-establishing the Galactic Council, and has currently mining activities that take place on the dark side of the planet.
Of course it was Hakan.
Of course it was Hakan. I mean, that's who finds everybody. They're just like, hey, what's this off-ramp go to? Hey, look, we found a new planet.
You want to buy our wares?
Hey, you haven't had a
Chips.
new anything in 1,000 years. We've got new shit in the back of the truck. You want to buy some?
You want
They're
blue
furry.
jeans?
They're furry gypsies. Great.
Better yet, they're Amazon. So, after
They're the
3,
space Portuguese.
you guys
So there's
slow down.
one. So there's one city then.
Yeah, it's basically one city-state that's 5 million people strong.
Okay.
It's
Well, that limits
very
it
large.
somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one place to go. It's where all 3 of the armadas got all their parts together and made one shelter for the planet.
Yeah.
So you pop out of space, you totally see the picture below you. You immediately pick up the communication buoys that are out there saying, come land over here, ba-ba, ba-ba. So I'm making sure I'm pinging the map.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
As
Really fast, but yeah.
I know, it's coming out super crisp and quick.
Yeah.
Is this what a new lobby looks like?
Apparently.
And you guys pop out of, faster than light. You're floating over the planets. Atmosphere looks kind of super sketchy, but you have confidence in your pilot.
Yeah, this actually plant looks kind of like some of my tele-eye screening pictures that I've taken that have like diabetic retinopathy. No.
The green band is now dead. Speaking of which, I gotta go do one of those in a month.
I bet. Should be doing once a year.
Yup. Only like 6 months overdue.
Hmm.
So,
Let's go to the.
is our pilot gonna communicate with the planet? Or are you just gonna start aiming towards the civilization?
This is the Barrel O monkeys to whatever the name of the planet is, control.
The rules
Ground
of truth?
control.
Major Tom to ground control.
This is Barrel Monkeys to ground control.
If that helps you, that's the planet and the city's name.
Ah.
Span is the city's name on Herald's Truth. because it spans the two survivable spots on the planet.
This is Barrow O Monkeys to span city central control.
This is the span control. How can we help you, Barrel O Monkey?
Requesting permission to dock.
Permission granted. Please be aware there's currently a firestorm on sector 427. And they totally send you up some cool guidance to help find the span and not run into the giant, half planet-sized firestorm that's going on right now.
Yeah, good idea. Don't come in over the hot spot.
Please designate your reason for visiting our new and amazing planet. It's all about the marketing. I mean, it's totally up to you guys. I mean, most folks should be totally tight-lipped about what they're doing unless they're totally told to just flash your badge in people's faces. But that's totally up to you guys. I mean, there's no doubt they know who your organization is. If you want to mention it, does it mean you'll get help?
Rose's general inclination is just to be upfront about it, but understanding that not everybody works that way, I'll defer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell him who we are.
So you actually mentioned that you're a Keleres unit?
Yeah.
And your purpose?
There it is.
Since you're a newly discovered planet, it is customary for a Keleres unit to come out.
Okay, go ahead and give me a deception roll. You have a blue dice, because they might believe that.
Are they mammalian?
They are not. They sound very aquatic.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
The bubbly speech.
Oh, burning the last point. What are you going to use for piloting afterwards?
Who needs to land?
Spoken like you're a pilot in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Every pilot character you've ever done.
He was good at everything but landing.
I mean, if it was your Sullus, then you're fine with piloting. I've never seen you botch a pilot roll on him.
Tell me when you're ready.
Go ahead and make your deception roll.
Hey!
Wow.
As they are just like, Keleres units, we look forward to hearing more about your unit on our planet. We are welcome to visit the entire galaxy, and especially law-abiding units like the Keleres and their council to restore a unified galaxy. Thank you for visiting. And
I'll show you my unit.
what would you like for that one
Whoa.
advantage?
Whoa.
Would you like a blue on your piloting check you're about to make?
Yeah, let's say he likes us so much he gives us an easy way in.
He totally gave you a priority spot. So go ahead.
To avoid the storm.
Yeah, totally give me a piloting check there as you're coming down through the planet. As the atmosphere on this planet really does suck. I mean, half is frozen with, flammable gases turned into ice. The other half is flammable gas just because the oxygen's that temperature.
Okay, tell me when you're ready.
Go for it.
It's an easy 5 purple.
Ah, look at that. So you
Wow.
fly down, and as you come down in the atmosphere on the more twilight side, because he gave you that really cool safe spot. You make for the city that stretches across the band there, basically the span. And as you near the city, you can just see one long tapering alloyed bulk of what looks like warships that were disassembled and all reassembled. So you're seeing like con towers sticking out, bulkheads, all kinds of hodgepodge material used to, combined into this giant, massive city state.
So it's
You know,
like a giant Connex box city.
yep, with extra structures built around it, and much are supported like a bridge over a shallow sea. They arc over like a big suspension bridge, with sections like plummeting right into the water.
Nice.
And it does seem like a fairly shallow sea as you fly by. You can totally see the bottom of the ocean. It's not deep blue stuff. And as you circle the city once, because his flight clearance totally gave you to do a flyby around the place, and you put down on an open pad that's at the corner of a modest landing platform connected by bridges to some kind of structure that they then go into. So, your ship will basically be on the outside, but it's a nice atmosphere. It's closer to the shady side. So it's like going out on a nice evening on the beach. You get that 60-degree beach breeze.
We're in the tropical zone.
Yep. And as you guys set down, you power down the ship. What do you guys do?
Alrighty then. So we gotta find our Hylar friend and Monkey Paw. Anybody crafty on this city stuff?
I mean, I'm pretty streetwise, you could say.
So hold on a second. You said that this planet was originally entered into the Imperium by Hakan?
It's been rediscovered by the Hakan.
Okay. While we're in the space station, I want to use my corporate drone talent
Ooh.
to talk with the other Hakan and get the lowdown on this planet.
Ooh, I like that. And what is the exchange rate for that talent?
I collect a small favor from any other member, even if they do not owe me a favor.
Okay, so you totally get onto the Hakan gossip network, which I can only think is something along the lines of the old hobo signs that you would leave. Lady's a sucker for a hungry person. And as you totally get on the Hakan network, they totally have data to help you out. And here's the data. That there is the security forces that are pretty tight for anything being imported into the planet side. Zaren's security forces, it's the name of the commander of the security forces, are very tight on customs smuggling. So if you try to smuggle something on or off, expect to get caught. So of course in the Hakan network, you're basically told, make sure to snitch out some other ships so you can use that decoy to sneak your shit on your ship. But the big one that you get is that all major business has to go through the commissioners.
The commissioners.
The first commissioner is Margrave Ortlov, which yes, I'll totally give you some copy paste here. who handles security affairs. So that way you don't forget. That basically he's really
Like dead
just
bodies.
he's really just interested in securing the station and maintaining his rule and securing food for the place. They want food coming in. So if you do anything that threatens food, hey, that's something you could possibly use against him. Don't make us call embargo. We'll embargo your food. Then we have the aquatic commissioner, because remember, each commissioner is from one of the races. Who, let's see, can I give that information? Technological. Yeah, they'll totally throw that info up. That Dr. Rigafom is the high role that's responsible for the span's technological infrastructure. And the city's got a ancient computer core left over from the Lennox Empire that they retrofitted. That's like her baby. Promise her technology, and she might love you forever.
Yeah.
And as for the Gashly commissioner, Delegate Flicker, like a flame, Flicker, is in charge of industrial production, which includes new research exploration, and he's pretty savvy on the truce that happened, because he's one of the warring species that it took a lot of conversation for the Levnecks to get the two races to chill their shit out, get fire and ice to work together, so to speak. But he's basically the historian in regards to the three commissioners. So you've got Margrave, who just cares about security and feeding the people. He's the Letnev. You've got Dr. Rigfam, who's wanting technology and maintaining their computer core, because it's a ancient, busted up computer. So there's some material there, as well as Flicker, who oversees the industrial production and is all about new research exploration or exploitation, depending on how you angle that. That's up to you guys. And do you share this data dump on the special Hakaran news network?
Well, anybody who's a con should know, but I won't tell the rest of the crew.
Well, that's what I meant, was do you tell the crew?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And you find a fur spa.
We need some sand to rub it.
I'll tell the rest of the monkeys.
And you totally know that there's totally a Hakan market district where the Hakan have set up permanent shops and housing and supply depots for their caravan ships.
Of course they did.
That's like marketing 101. You set up your Amazon dispatch location.
Gotta get money from everywhere.
Everybody gets their 12%. That's just basic operating cost.
More money, more money, more money.
You don't think those cell phones really cost that much? Everybody's got to get their 12 to 14% for operating costs.
Yeah, no, they don't cost anywhere near that.
Especially when the little aquatic guys were having the fire guys build everything. Drops the price immensely. So just as
is there any rumors about Dr. Ragafum having illegal or unknown technology?
Nothing like that, no. Most of the commissioners, from what you're getting, are very, very law-abiding in as far as they don't want to lose their position of authority.
Yeah.
Think about it. They're the baron of whatever guild that they're in charge of. They don't want to lose that prestige because there's probably 1 million people who want to take their place. It's your position
Yeah,
till you
in
fuck up
my
enough.
in
I have
in
to
my
go
knowledge,
research
that
that.
makes them more likely to use illegal technology to maintain their position.
I mean, that would just be good business. I mean, look at what I discovered.
I mean, you say illegal. How do you know it's illegal?
They are the 3 commissioners who make most of the laws.
Specifically, Lizix.
The L1Z1X or the actual Imperial's technology, because basically
The
Empire's technology is everyone's technology, because basically everyone knocked off their stuff.
right, the L1Z1X.
They don't have any knowledge of that yet. At least not that they're putting on their network. A lot of times you don't even want to say the L1Z1X, because especially if it's in your network, that's word of mouth type of stuff.
Right. Well, no, that's why I'm actually talking to people.
Well, you're talking to people through technology. When the
No, I'm physically at the docks talking to people.
Nobody's left the ship yet.
Oh, I thought we left the ship.
No, you access the Hakan network.
You use the Hakan network first.
Oh, sorry, I thought we left the ship
No.
and I was going around the port.
Yeah, nobody said we got off yet.
You guys have powered
Okay.
down the ship's engines and stuff, and you're on your pad. Nobody's approached you. You haven't opened your ramp yet. There might be something on the other side of that airlock door as you come down this janky, sci-fi-ish landing pad that's got lots of supports jutting up and welded to it. You're just like, oh my god, this is so dangerous. There's no guardrails. What if it actually rains out here? There's not even like a equipment loading, unloading system.
Alright. Golf, bro, where we want to go.
Let's do it.
Okay, so you guys open the loading ramp.
Yeah.
You guys come walking out the little rubberized platform that goes to the airlock door. It has an easy button that says push. Who's gonna push the button?
I will push the button.
You push the button and immediately this door ching 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 ching. Very, very, very antiquity and blah, blah, blah. Words are hard. Very antique-ish garage door style door opens up, and immediately you realize there are 4 people. One a Letnev with more crap on his uniform. Kind of reminds you of your Letnev. Why do they have all this?
Shoot him. Oh, wait, no. Sorry.
And he's standing there with 3 of his security personnel in very, very similar uniform to his, just not as pretty.
But not green, right?
But not green, nope.
Okay.
As he immediately says, hello, we are Customs. Is there anything you'd like to declare?
I do declare.
Nothing at all. Just the 4 of us disembarking.
And am I correct in the assumption that you are Keleres envoys?
Indeed, we are.
Show him the badge.
Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. And he basically says, welcome to Harul's Truce. I am Captain Zaran of the Port Authority. And I report to Margrave Ortov. As you can see, our humble port doesn't get many travelers from the shining center of the galaxy. And he gives you this whole snarkiness. May I ask, candidly, what is your purpose for visiting Harul's Truce?
Well,
We get dead
basically,
silence. Do you know what that means?
say again?
We get dead silence. Do you know what that means?
I was gonna say, well, I'm waiting for one of the talkie talks to do their thing.
Well, wait. Last time I said the truth, and you made me roll a deception roll.
Well, it
So
wasn't all truth.
it was mostly truth.
Not every planet is issued a Keleres squad like you. You were deceiving in what your true intentions were here. It's an
I
investigation that
will.
you're here on.
I will let you guys know from here on out, based on your interactions with him, you know that Will will just tell him the truth. He will not try to dissemble at all. So if anybody wants to stop him from telling the truth, you're going to want to jump in.
And as you're about to do that, that's a good place to wrap it up there.
Aha.
Dun dun dun. As all of a sudden, that tense moment is exactly when I'm hoping your fifth member will come walking up the ramp going, "Hey, my ride's finally here." I mean, honestly, that would be a great segue or a great explanation of what you're doing here.
Yeah.
We're here to pick up
Yes.
that guy. He got lost.
Yes, be aware, I have a cunning of 1. I do not even attempt to lie.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I,
It's
on the
so
other
much
hand, am
easier
built to
get
lie.
straightforward.
That's all you do.
You know,
Even your truths are a lie.
it's like
I'm a lying liar that lies.
It's like a certain barber from Deep Space Nine. You know, if I just say so many lies, nobody can find out what the truth is.
It's true.
Right. And somewhere in there is the truth in those lies.
Those are facts.
Okay, so would it be possible, since we are representing the Keleres, for me to do a leadership role to spout the what's it called? Stupid things that every organization has.
Bylaws?
The mission statement.
Mission statement.
Leadership is only for people who are somehow subordinate to you.
Well, we are Keleres. They are technically
Not
That would
beholden
be
to
like
us because they're an independent planet.
that would be like UN soldiers telling Marines in Texas what to do.
Yeah.
There would be lots of snickers and laughs, and then they'd be like, "Right on that, blue boy."
Yeah. Yeah, they would be telling the UN to go pound sand. But
That's what I mean. There technically is no overlapping. I mean, maybe if the Keleres would sweeten the pot, they may join, but they're not actually signatories, so there's no
yeah, they're not beholden to
reciprocation
us.
of
They're an independent.
goodwill. If they totally dropped a relief ship here off, they would probably get lots of goodwill, but you guys don't have a ship full of supplies to drop off. I mean, you can totally lie or manipulate the situation to do exactly that, or find a way to find one of the 3 leaders to get in their good side and actually be told, hey, I am one of the triumvirate that runs this place. You listen to these guys, they're cool. That totally is something that could happen, but it's something you're going to have to work for.
Mm-hmm.
Because, unfortunately, even though you guys act like Interpol in space, you don't have Interpol's actual authority of the signature countries that sign up for that.
Well, we're kind of like the FBI that doesn't really have any independent authority. They have to work through the authority of the law enforcement within the areas for most of the stuff they do.
Most of the stuff they have to defer to local law enforcement.
Yes. The sheriff, county sheriff, has the ultimate jurisdiction anywhere. So.
But in real life, most of them are like, ho, if you've got a good reason, I believe you, let's do it. As long as it's within the law, do it. Because then I can be in collusion for not stopping you.
Yep. So. Cool. Well, we made it here in one piece.
You
Didn't get
made
shot
it
up.
there
That's
in
good.
one piece. With your
Just
fifth
minor-
member currently at a hotel and enjoying the sand because he's amphibious.
With just a minor hiccup in the beginning. But I must say, quite the job of dispatching. That was very efficient.
Yeah.
As you now know, your Letnev buddy is quick with the knives.
Maybe a little too quick. Maybe a lot too quick.
And you guys know in your secret heart of hearts, maybe we need to establish a chain of command.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that.
And on the plus side, you guys receive, in a little while, a communication back from your custodian saying, please, less bodies on the floor. Please express some diplomatic restraint, not diplomatic immunity.
I thought I saw data ports on them.
Letnev, L1, Z1X paranoia.
Right?
Just because they are the freaking Borg. Now, if only the Necrovirus and the L1Z1X could get together and actually become the infectious Borg.
Except they literally hate each other.
Because they are the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Sure, we'll infect you, but first we have to carve out all that organic crap.
But I like my organic crap.
I'm 50% organic crap.
We get a sliver of XP.
You guys each get 10 XP because you
10.
actually
Nice.
no 15 because you got there, you got the ship, and you've introduced yourselves possibly without having to murder the local custodian, the customs.
Yeah, no, that's always good.
Yeah.
As these security forces, by the way, totally have Jesus, they've got a grazer, damn. And
they have what?
Grazer
they got lasers.
Yeah, grazers. It's like a laser.
They got freaking lasers?
They have weapons.
Lasers.
Do the actual people look like sharks? Do the sharks have freaking lasers?
And they've got neutron pulse weapon when they need to. The nice little super lethal weapon. And the polyweave greatcoats.
Great.
Okay, I'm gonna spend 10 points on my second piloting.
That's a good choice. Straight out of the gate, exit strategy secure.
Not a bad thing.
I'm totally waiting for you to hit up some Hakan traders to get the super secret Hakan book of ports to go to and what you need to know.
The where to go guide.
Yep.
Or the Hakan where to go guide.
The Hakan Green Book. Yep. Or is it the Carmen Sandiego one? Don't eat at this restaurant. Some of you will be left behind on the planet.
Nice.
Don't eat at this restaurant. Something not originally born to your body will leave with you. And never eat the special.
Would that be considered trafficking?
15 points now. Got to do some thinking.
Oh. I mean, since a major part of your mission was getting there intact, you did that. You did get the extra 5 for that.
Yep.
They just said we had to get there intact, not everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Just gotta figure out where to use it now.
Decisions. Where do we burn that XP first?
There is no wrong answer.
My answer was on skills.
Now, somebody needs gunslinger diplomacy. If the character is armed, they may use the talent to conspicuously display their weapon and add 2 success and 1 threat to the results of the next social skill check they make this turn.
Wow. That's pretty potent.
Yeah, it's a really cool talent. It really is, because it's literally that one everyone wants to say, "Can I point my gun at him?" And it's a lot better than just a blue dice.
You don't have to point it at them. You're just brandishing.
Yeah, you just need to have it displayed suggestively.
I love how you're reversing what you said earlier about the other guys with their guns.
Well,
I
that
don't
was
know
an
what you're
obvious
talking about,
threat.
Yeah, they pointed at us.
That was a point blank obvious threat versus I kind of shift my jacket back so that you can see I have a weapon on my hip as I talk.
But maybe I was just straightening my clothes.
Right.
If you're
That's
wanting
brandishing.
If you're wanting the bonus, you're brandishing the weapon. There's no wiggle room in there. You were threatening with the weapon.
Right, but it doesn't mean it's unholstered. You can just pull back like your jacket to flash that the weapon's there. That's brandishing.
Mm-hmm.
These guys were overtly threatening with guns drawn, pointing in our direction.
Well, no, their finger pointed in your direction. Their guns were drawn.
I never said that they pointed the guns at us, but you said their guns were out, and the guy pointed our direction. Now it might have been pointing at the doorway, but we happened to be in the doorway. That was a threat.
And we dealt with it.
That's my story. Nobody has audio recording. All they have is visual, and I'm sticking to it.
All right, guys. Well, it's almost 3:30 in the morning for me.
Oof.
So.
Oh gosh,
You
yes.
crazy East Coaster.
It's a 3-day weekend, so I'm perfectly fine.
True.
There you go.
All right.
All right, guys. Good game.
Have a good night, guys.
Good
All
job.
right. Good night, guys.
Bye.